Yo, episode 6 of the Group Chat podcast. You can see that
What
there's
up?
the sort of usual quartet of people, but we've got someone new. Our first guest on the podcast. Way,
Round of
we're
applause.
doing something
Damn,
good.
wait, I'm number one? I didn't
You
know
are.
if I'm one.
You're the,
Yeah.
you're the first. You're the first.
You're the first one outside of our group.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
So
the
introduce yourself. Tell us
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah, all right. My name is Buck. I am 28. I stream. I am the most athletic single dad in the state of Minnesota.
Oh,
Let's see. Frequent water drinker.
it's good stuff.
I'm telling you, man. I stand on it too. Any other single dads in this state, I'm taking the belt. Anything.
Man,
Man,
can
that's
I
basically it, really. Yeah,
can
yeah,
I
yeah.
hop in for a quick sec? I want to tell these guys how I actually found this man's. So a long time ago, me and my boys, we worked at this grocery warehouse. We got done at 11 p.m. We hop on Xbox at like say midnight at this point, and we're like, "Yo, let's go fuck around with some Twitch streamers." And we're just googling like Fortnite and shit like that. And then out of nowhere, there's this man's whose name is Us Single Dad. So we all hop in and just start fucking with him.
Oh,
I ended up thinking man's was chill as fuck. So I stick around, throw a few subs around, and just hang out. And I've been there for like the last 3 years. I hop in every once in a while and shoot the shit and whatnot. It's yeah. Fuck, you've your
I
your
forgot
name
you
has
met me
changed.
during those single. Oh, man, I
Yeah,
was
dude,
telling
your
somebody
name
about
has
that
changed
earlier.
like fucking 18 times. Your
Yeah.
streaming quality has gotten better. Everything else about you has been a lot better. So it's nice to see actual
were the
some
dark
progression and
days.
growth.
Those were the dark days, man.
Hey, bro, Eli was a little fucking knee high.
Dude, he was. Bro, my content was literally having people spend $5 for me to take a shot, and then I'd give them dad advice.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
dark
It's
days.
a pretty niche.
Content's content.
I'm gonna say it's a pretty niche one. So you've got the
Oh,
got the
man.
What's the kind of
foothold.
like worst?
Oh, trust me, I've seen a lot worse on that
Oh, man.
platform.
Yeah.
What are some of the weirdest questions you got as dad advice then?
Dude, I mean, it was just like I'd have like people come in and be like, "Yo," like tell me like their whole like relationship stories, and then like I'd be like, "Oh, okay," trying to answer all these questions, and then somebody would be like, "Yeah, I don't know what to do or whatever. Like it's super weird. Like he doesn't want to like talk to me or sit next to me or like ever like hang out with me." And I was just like, "Ah, I try to give them," and then they'd just be like, "Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens next year in high school." And I'm just all like, this whole time they've been explaining shit. Y'all, you was in 8th grade, like going through all of these like trauma deliveries and shit like that, and it's like, damn. So I mean, it just be some like just off guard shit. But that at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay, damn. I'm trying to think big picture, and it's like, okay, I might actually be like the only type of like parental person this person is going to if they're asking me these questions. So then it's just kind of
True.
like, okay, it's like everybody else might look at this and think that it's comedy, but it's like for this person, it's like they might actually genuinely be asking, like, what do you think? So it's just like, okay,
You always
it's
got
like,
to look deeper in a situation like that.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So then it's just kind of like, how to, kind of entertain it, so it's humorous, but then, so you're also being, super
Genuine.
valid. You're giving out, good, positive information. You're sending people, in the right directions and stuff like that. So
Keep it
was
light, but keep it
was just
educational.
yeah, absolutely. Always educational. Always try to show, the quote unquote silver lining on things.
Mm.
So, it was just random things here and there, Sometimes it'd just be a chill night, people just be, what do you think about this? Opinions on music and stuff. And then sometimes it'd be super serious conversations, and it's just like, I might need another drink for this one, So it's just trying to
Yeah.
be, the best, you know, I guess quote unquote Twitch dad, that I could be, while also just hammering back the shots that they were paying for. But it was decent. It was decent.
Wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
Nothing.
Fair.
The best advice is drunk advice.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
It's the most honest
it's like,
advice.
it is, and
Exactly.
it's like the explanations.
Yeah, it's honest
you know,
advice.
they
Maybe
go
not
on for,
best advice.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
It depends how
like,
drunkers are.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when
Depends
you're
what kind
super
of drunk
lit,
you are.
when you're super lit, you be explaining everything like 15 different ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like they'll ask you like a 2-second question that could have gotten like a 2-second answer, but because you're on shot number 8 or whatever of like some hornitos, you've explained it
15
5
minutes
different
later.
times.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That type of advice probably not the best.
No.
Like,
When
it-
it's fucking
completely.
I think
Yeah.
it's I think you've summed it up exactly. Like, regardless of whether you think it's just a light-hearted thing, that could be someone who's genuinely needed that bit of advice,
Yeah.
and you've told them everything. And yeah, dude, that's as you
You've
said,
given what
like,
they wanted to hear.
not
Like,
even
a lot of
sometimes what they
people-
want to hear, no?
you know, and a lot of people, I feel like, you know, that'd be tough for them. But I've always been the type of person that it's like, if somebody's gonna get advice from somebody, it's like I'd rather at least they get the advice from me, because it's like then I can trust the advice, you know. Where
Mm.
it's like, you know, like other people or whatever, like I don't know how PG-13 do we have to keep this?
Oh, you can go as
yeah,
vulgar
no.
as you
Okay.
need or want.
Okay, cool. Well, it's like back in the day, it's like people be trying to like, you know, they be trying to like get some weed and shit or whatever, right? And it's like I'm not like a drug dealer and shit, but it's like I know people, you
Mm.
know.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's not like I want to be like, oh hey, if you guys need anything, come to me. But then at the
Mm.
same point, it's just kind of like, well, at least I could tell them like I know what they're gonna get from these people. So it's like if you're gonna do this thing anyway, whether you know it's this, that, or the other, even if I don't like fuck with it to do it myself, if you're gonna do it, I'd rather you get it safe. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just kind
Mm.
of like,
I
you
feel
know,
like
it's like I
almost
don't really
everyone
care
knows the
who gets
guy.
the
Yeah,
dollar, but
exactly.
it's just like if you're gonna do
Yeah.
this thing, it's like I don't want you to do the wrong thing, you know, just because somebody else
Yeah.
is trying to get over on you type shit. So.
100%.
Going back
Definitely.
to the whole like actual life advice thing, there's also the element of it's better to get advice from someone who's not like already close with you, because that way that person is going to be very judgmental of you.
Yeah, an
If you're going to
unbiased
get
opinion.
exactly, if you get an unbiased opinion, then you're more likely to get a honest opinion and a more, you know,
Mhm.
helpful opinion.
Level-headed
Exactly.
opinion as well.
It's easier to see the edge of the cliff from somebody in the tower than somebody who's in the fog with you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's
True,
good.
true.
That's a good one.
All right, boys and
That's actually
girls.
good.
That's
Like that.
very good. Let's get a little weird with this though. All right. Your parents read your search history
Jesus
on your
Christ.
computer. What would their reactions be?
I'm disowned. Oh mate,
Eh.
I'm either disowned or in prison.
I think it depends. I think because I don't know.
Do you
I've
use a lot
never-
of incognito, Vinny? Is that
I'm
why?
a massive fan of it.
Oh, yes,
Control
I am.
Control Shift N.
Yeah.
I've got it. Burned. No one's
Yep.
catching. But I
Oh, yeah.
don't give a fuck. I'd
Con-
just fucking
yeah,
you know what I
Control
mean?
Shift and N are the 3 most used buttons on
Then what?
Vinny's keyboard.
You could always
real.
do is just be like, download a dodgy version of Minecraft shaders, got virus on computer. Bob's your uncle.
Oh
You
shit.
know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah.
Man.
But I feel like the stuff that me and you have watched, Vinny.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah,
there's
you two
the
are going to
internet.
jail.
The internet is nothing. You know, please
Nothing
God, don't
illegal.
think. No, not at all.
No.
It's just very
What?
weird. The internet is just.
A weird.
If you go down one
If you go down a rabbit hole, you're
one
fucked.
path, and sometimes the ladder back just keeps moving.
It's
And that is
the
the case with us.
it's
just one
essentially
of
the
them.
Reddit hole, isn't it? Just
Oh
There
no,
is
we
some
found
weird
another
Reddit,
one.
it could be Twitter, it could be 9gag, it could be anything,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's
Lively.
Best score.
horrible.
but I'm saying
Another
Reddit as the
list.
example because Reddit's like notorious for having that kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
like
The one
You
thing I will
Reddit's
say.
the starter.
The one thing I will
Oh, yeah.
say is, I feel like as I can't shift this. I feel like as the internet sort of evolved with us. Thankfully, it's a lot harder to find that type of stuff. The
Yeah,
stuff
so,
that
like,
could
when,
potentially damage, minds
when
and
Buck
stuff.
and I were younger, because I know
Yeah,
Buck's
I was
only a
gonna say
couple
the
years
shit
younger
that
than
we
me.
had growing up.
Yeah, bro. It was like, and it was accessible to everyone. Like, you didn't have to go fucking far to find this shit, bro.
Yeah.
No, you did not.
And like, you would get emails and you'd be like, oh, what's this? You click it, and then sure as shit, there's a guy fucking a dead horse head on your computer. And you're like, why
Yeah.
is this a thing? No, like, that's just straight up how it was, bro. Like,
Literally,
Meat spin.
yeah, meat spin, 2 girls, 1 cup, 1 guy, 1 jar.
Dude,
One
Um,
guy,
you
one
ever see
screwdriver.
The
Yeah.
Pain Olympics.
Pain
Pain
Olympics.
Dude, Pain Olympics, best gore, bro. That shit was just
Best score, 9
what
gag
we talked
2.
about in 5th grade. It was just
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, honestly.
Best score
And it
still a
was,
thing.
and it literally
think so.
wasn't,
Yeah, yeah,
there was
yeah.
Oh,
no
it is. Trust
filtering.
me. Trust me,
There
it
was
is.
no
is,
filtering back in the
man.
back in the day, right? So like it was like you just fucking type a few buttons on a keyboard and sure as shit, you're getting somewhere that you shouldn't be.
I think looking back, it's probably
A good thing.
now that.
Mhm.
Well, I once.
It's a good thing that it's harder to get to now.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Oh,
100%.
100%,
Yeah.
It's fucked
'Cause
all of us
there
up,
was-
at least
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
It
Well,
was
yeah,
but
but
you know
bad.
what?
think about
I don't think kids today could handle
Take it.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
100%
Mm.
not.
Like, no shot.
No.
Like they think
Like-
Modern Warfare 2 lobbies are bad, bro. This is
Ooh.
We were, yeah, dude, we literally, that's our
We've had
go-to.
this conversation plenty of
It's-
times.
you know,
Bro,
It's just
Modern-
one of
if you
them,
did not
man,
grow up on
it's-
Modern Warfare 2, then
not built for it. We're
you're not built for
different.
it.
It
No,
wasn't
yeah.
wasn't even the case of like
You
The-
get
the thing-
screamed at every day.
the thing that I remember
Racial
fondly.
profanities thrown
Yeah.
at
Kids
the
are- these
window
kids
at
are
you all
upset
the time.
because Michelle Obama took Twinkies out of their vending machines. That's what's that's
Yeah.
what got them.
Like
Shit,
That's the
dog.
hardest thing.
It's
Different
just-
breed, bro.
Modern Warfare 2, fucking open mics built fucking character.
It weren't
It
even the
made
fact
men
it built
men.
character. It's like
It built men.
I think I thank it a lot because, well, I don't now because I struggle to hear. But those screamers, you were always guaranteed at least one. No matter
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened, they're screaming.
Oh, at the end
And
of the
I-
game, there's always that one fucking
I
kid
think
that screams.
it done
And the
some
voice
Mike,
breaks.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Them shitty
irreparable.
mics, fucking hell.
And the prepubescent voice breaks.
yeah.
Here's something that,
But you
that-
know what?
that
I
we
wouldn't go back and fucking change a thing.
here's something we can segue onto it, right? Probably with how microphones have gotten, there's going to be nothing on this planet that beats the sound of an Xbox 360 microphone. I'll tell you, there's
Nope.
just something about it. You know what I mean? It's like when they're shouting.
You talking about like that default headphone,
Yeah.
the one ear fucking mic? Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
And they are.
You'd,
Oh my
you'd scream so
God.
loud it would cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, reach a
And
certain
it wasn't
frequency, you're
even,
just
it
like,
wasn't,
nope.
Yeah. It wasn't even that you were screaming loud. You talk
Yeah.
loud and it just cut out.
Yeah.
Dude, the best part, bro, is like these kids don't even know about getting voice messages from people that
Oh,
you just
God.
shoot.
yo,
Oh.
right?
Bro,
You
voice
take
messages,
it
man,
back a
whenever
little
you
bit
just, like,
further.
kill
You can
somebody.
get picture messages on Xbox.
Yeah.
That's
With
true,
stupid
that little
webcam.
camera.
Stupid fucking
true.
webcams, Jesus. But yeah, man, them
Man's got
fucking
so
voice
many dick
messages.
pics
Oh,
through
Let
that
me go
shit,
back
bro?
for a week. I'll be a menace. Let me go back for a week.
Yo, right?
Oh man, just 7 days. Just
Honestly,
give me
that's-
7 days to be my worst self.
It-
7
Yep.
days.
Give me
it's sort
7
of,
days back in that. Give me a week back in them days.
it
Warfare
depresses
2.
it depresses me a little bit because it's a very topical topic. Eminem's brother, what do you know about it? That we're talking about this now because obviously Modern Warfare, technically I guess 2
2.
is releasing, but it's not
Mm.
the Modern Warfare 2 that we know, right?
No.
I'm
No, it's
just
the
like
remake.
It's a sequel
I couldn't-
to
I couldn't-
2019.
Modern Warfare.
although that
The
game
remaster.
I've played the game, I loved it, right? I just there's something about, and it might be the same for like everyone, but I remember at a certain point in life where a Call of Duty game was coming out, the world stopped.
Yeah.
Like I don't know
That
if it.
stopped after Black Ops 2.
I don't know if it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a case of like because like my age and stuff, but like, bruv, there could be the best game ever, right? Coming out, you wouldn't hear a thing about it because you just Call of Duty everywhere,
Mm.
and it
Games
was.
would literally move the release dates so that way it wouldn't fall in November, so that way they wouldn't have to compete with
Christmas.
Call of Duty.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
Yes,
now,
and John
And also
Lowe-
Christmas.
Go on then,
That's
Nico.
why GTA did their release in September because they're like, we can't compete with Black Ops 2.
now
So they released in September.
I'm not being funny with you. Like I'm backing myself. If I'm a games company now and I see Call of Duty's got the day, I'm like, be
Cool.
fun. Do you know what I mean? Because
sure,
I
guess.
it annoys
It's
me,
not the
man.
same anymore.
Like it's I
It
don't know.
fell so hard, so quick.
It's being a dead horse at this point.
But the thing is, what
Like-
what would you? Well, actually, we'll get an answer out of everyone. This is a good part of it because we segued into it. What would you? First of all, we'll go to you first, but you're the guest.
Okay.
We talk about obviously Call of Duty. What is the first thing that you would change to try and get it back to? If you were given the keys to the people who's making Call of Duty, right? You here now, get it back to how Black Ops 2 was. What's the first thing that comes to your mind you're changing? Because I've got a list personally.
Man, I would. Well, I mean, I don't know. Whenever I play Call of Duty, right, I was always playing competitive. So I like never touched anything besides like search and destroy games unless we were just playing something for like a warm up.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like especially, I mean, like like when a game comes out now, for some reason this never happened before when people were buying discs or whatever. But when a game drops, it's broken. That first week is going to be a terrible experience. That first 24 hours is going to be hell. You might as well honestly not be excited for it until the second day because you're not getting on. It's not out.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that was an issue to fix, I'd fix that. But otherwise, I feel like what makes or breaks that first like initial thing is if you come in your first game and the spawns are not right, it's over. It's over. if they don't have spawns fixed on site day one, it's you're losing at least 30% of your player base just on the fact that you guys couldn't have proper spawns. Your team's pushing up, you're in the right thing, and all of a sudden you're on a 5-6 kill streak. You know, you're trying to get dogs, you're trying to get a Harry or whatever, and then somebody just spawns in right behind you, 2 taps you with an AA-12, you're done. It's over. Chalk.
Yeah.
Start up A, you're out of there. You know,
It's
over.
it's
No, 100%.
it's funny that you said in relation to not being able to get on because you've just triggered a memory. I remember
the worst.
I got my Xbox One for Christmas, and come with it was Advanced Warfare. Do you remember when them fuckheads hacked the
man.
servers on
Lizard
Christmas?
Squad, bro.
You-
Lizard Squad.
I remember Lizard
Lizard
Squad,
Squad.
bro. That
Oh,
Oh,
was
I remember
hilarious.
that.
Lizard Squad. dude.
God, that's a
Xbox.
I think
throwback.
I remember that because of Nick.
I spent
Dude, they
more
hacked-
time on my Xbox
Man.
looking at the connecting to Xbox Live services
Yep.
than I did playing any
Yep.
game on that first
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hated Lizard Squad until they ended up hacking. I think it was like the I don't think it was like the FBI website. It was some government website here in the States, and they hacked it and they put the little monocle and the top hat on the eagle.
I
and
think it was
after they
something to
did
do with
that-
Donald Trump, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
No,
what
this
it was
is
like
way
the
before
Department of
Trump.
Justice website or something. It was definitely before Trump. But
I
yeah,
think it was
they put
CIA
the-
or FBI or something like that.
Yeah, and they put the little lizard
It was
monocle and
CIA.
top hat on the eagle, and I was like, you know
Mm.
what? Never mind.
Yeah,
Go
man.
ahead,
Respect.
take down the
Yeah.
servers. Like
I
you got 24
remember.
hours, but give us the shit back, please.
I
So
remember.
can I go
it-
go
I quit
next?
playing Destiny for that.
What, Josh? Hang on. You said Destiny.
I did.
I played it for a
I was
bit.
playing Destiny, and I was really enjoying it. And someone was like, "Yo, let's play Search and Destroy wager matches on this game." And I was like, I
And
don't
then
really want to
it's-
play.
yeah.
I don't want to play anything with like jetpacks or thrust movements. And then next thing you know, it's been 10 years and I hadn't touched Destiny. I just been playing Search and Destroy, and it's like, oh man.
I get that. Yeah, Josh.
Alright. Next Call of Duty, two simple things. Like Buck said, number one. Oh, actually, it's three. Spawns for sure. Map design. We need more. We need more maps of 3 lanes of traffic again. That was one of the things that helped Call of Duty thrive so much. Was
Yeah,
3 lanes of
100%.
traffic, left, middle, right, and you always knew where your opponents were going to be. There was no bullshit of them like zigzagging behind you or whatever. Like nowadays, all these maps, there's fucking paths everywhere. It
Yeah.
looks almost like
It
one
was
of
just
those
straight up
stupid
gunfight.
mazes. Yeah, it looks like one of those stupid mazes that you have to get from one end to the other and hope you don't fuck up. But back in the day, it was just 3 lanes, left, middle, right, and that was pretty much it. You knew where people were going to be roughly, whether they were working the 3 lanes or working the outside of the map. That was the only things you had to worry about. The third and final thing is definitely skill-based matchmaking. That needs to be abolished. I'm sorry, they need to preference connection over skill-based matchmaking. I am sorry. There have been plenty of times where you'll hop into a Call of Duty lobby and the connection is dog shit and you're playing like the sweatiest lobby you've ever played in because you and your friends fucking rip shit every goddamn night, and now your guys' elo is too high and you can't have fun playing the game anymore.
You've just kicked another memory.
Oh man.
The Christmas noobs. How it
Bro,
was a
that shit
field
was
day.
great.
Oh man.
I would get Call of Duty on release day just to prepare for the
Yeah,
Christmas theme.
It was.
bro. I'd get a few prestiges in, and that week, oh, bro, you'd get like 2-3 more in because it's just slaughter.
It was.
Yeah.
Great.
It was
Yeah.
incredible. Like again, if Ali of Vault, if you played Call of Duty, I know you're not really a big fan of
Yeah.
shooters, no.
No, I've definitely played Call of Duty. Like, obviously, I was more of like back in the day. I was more of a like I played more of the Treyarch ones. So I was
They
more
were-
into
I'm
like the
sorry, dude,
zombies
but
and
Treyarch was the
everything.
best ones.
Treyarch were goated. Black that run from was it for where they had like a couple years where they
So it
didn't
was
miss.
World at War, Black Ops 1,
Was
Black
it?
Ops 2.
And I quite
Black Ops 3
enjoyed
was
Modern
decent as
Warfare
well.
2,
I would
Modern Warfare
change-
3. They had a couple years back to back where they had everything and everywhere in a chokehold.
Mm.
Like as I said at the start of the conversation, like it was just impossible to breathe if you was another game developer. If you
No,
weren't
yeah,
in
for
Call
real.
of Duty, no one knew
from
who
Modern
you were.
Warfare 2 to Black Ops 2. Go.
That's exactly the timeline. Those 4 years of Call of Duty were peak COD years.
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
people will say COD 4. Mind you, COD 4 is one of my all-time
Actually, you know
favorites.
what?
COD 4, if you were now they did do this kind of. If you were to re-release COD 4 today and not include a bunch of different guns like they did in the original Modern Warfare remake, if you just release COD 4 as is, you'll find more people bitching about it than anything. because
Yep.
the game wasn't perfectly designed, right? Like
No.
fucking Frag times 3 was horrible. Stun times 3 was horrible. Juggernaut, everybody hated.
Yep.
Like it was
Thing is-
shitty when 2 of your 3 perks were guaranteed Bandolier and either Juggernaut or Stopping Power. That was it.
The
Right?
thing
There
is,
was
back
no
then,
class. There was no real class design. Sorry to cut you off, Walt.
no, it's fine. But back then, think about it. Like back then, when they released a game, that game is complete essentially. Like COD
Pretty
4,
much, yeah.
they'd release COD 4 and they would think it's complete. They wouldn't look at all the complaints and be like, "Oh, Juggernauts are broken," or "Noob tubes are broken," or
Fucking
whatever.
deal with
They
it.
The only thing
they
they would
wouldn't
do
care.
would be guns. They'd tweak
It-
them a tiny bit.
Exactly. It's
And
only
bugs
because
in the map.
Exactly. It's only because nowadays people are so much more vocal due to social media and everything that they are like actively trying to change everything just to pander to all these, you know, people who are just like ranting and like complaining because they can't handle being killed by something that's necessarily meta or something that's like OP.
That's the other thing, okay? There is no such thing as OP guns. There is meta weapons and non-meta weapons. Fucking deal with it. Roll with the meta or don't. Just stop your
I
fucking
mean,
bitching.
I'm going to be honest. Like, I think from Black Ops 2, the main thing that stuck out to me was the MSMC,
MSMC,
AN-94.
M18.
and everyone was just bitching about it. But like,
Yeah.
Bro,
Personally, I
I'm
saw
sorry,
the
the
AN-94.
Galil,
they go
Galil
now.
with the select fire, making it full auto.
Oh,
Or not the Galil, sorry. What was it? I
FAL?
think
FAL.
yeah, the FAL. The FAL was
FAL.
select fire.
Uh,
That was so broken
Oh.
that they had to be like MLGs, just like, yeah, you can't use this in
Yes.
tournaments.
I
For
mean,
me, it was always the AN-94. Whenever I saw it, you just get destroyed by the AN-94.
Free tab.
Dude,
If-
Modern Warfare
Yeah.
2 ACR, that ACR.
Oh, I'm sorry. ACR, best
Man.
assault rifle in Call of Duty history.
I don't
Oh,
think.
MW2 ACR, 100%.
I just
Yeah,
don't. I just.
MW2 ACR.
that ACR, and then there was one version of the BAL from Advanced Warfare. There was like 3 of them.
The Inferno.
Obsidian Steed. Obsidian Steed.
And Inferno.
That thing, oh my gosh, those
Yep.
variants.
ASM1 speakeasy.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh.
god.
That was it.
See,
That was it.
that's-
You had both
I
of them,
had
dude.
that.
It's
That's
over.
the
You
I
had to have
don't-
both of them.
I miss.
I spent so much money on that just to get those
So
guns.
did
and
I.
I just ruined everybody's time once I had them. I was like, this is fun.
And it was fucking
It's
fun.
great. They don't
And the
have this,
worst
and I
part
do. It's-
is,
oh man.
they were competitive legal.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
were allowed to use the Obsidian Steed
Mhm.
and the fucking Speakeasy back in those days in competitive. And
Yeah.
they were the best versions of the gun. It was so
Yeah.
bullshit. It was literally pay to win.
Just to quickly weigh in, the timeline I said was MW2 to Black Ops 2, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to change that. MW2
Okay.
to Ghost.
Oh, Call of Duty Ghost was horrible.
No.
No, it wasn't.
I'll-
Ghost
I'll-
is only horrible because it came out
Ghost.
after Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
It's the same
Ghost.
shit with Spider-Man.
Ghost was great.
Uh,
Ghost was great.
Doctor Strange, Marvel, fucking whatever it's called, was
Multiverse
only
of
bad because
Madness.
it came out
After
because it came
Spider-Man.
out after Spider-Man. That's the only reason that
I
movie was bad.
think.
Same thing with Ghost.
Looking back now
Black Ops 2 is one of
at
the best Call
how
of Duties
at
ever.
how what
It was the best
transpired,
Call of Duty.
at
That
how
That is the only reason why people think Ghost is bad. Sorry,
Wait,
Vinny.
hold
It's
on.
carry on.
alright.
Good.
I think looking back now, after what happened after Ghosts, you could give me Ghosts every year and I'd be happy with it.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Oh.
The only
Because
So here-
issue,
we had we I think the player base complained so much over Ghosts at stuff that you didn't really need to complain about. I think we
Mm.
just
There
got
was no
spoiled.
color in Ghost, bro. It was
explain.
gray and
yeah,
brown.
I'll
Fucking
no
pick a
game-
new color palette.
no game is perfect, right? We've established that.
Mm.
There's things that you think are perfect. It's up to you. I think that, unpopular opinion, I don't think that we would have had. I honestly don't think we would have got Infinite Warfare if the community as a whole wasn't as bitchy about Ghosts.
100%.
Because after
Now, the
Ghosts, it
one-
was Advanced
Infinite
Warfare.
Warfare, worst fucking Call of
The
Duty.
one
no,
thing I will
dude.
say about Ghost that actually crucified it was the fact that it was split between 2 platforms, right? But because that was the last Call of Duty that was made for the 360 and PS3,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So because that was released, and then like a month later, the 1 and the 4 were released, and then you could upgrade for $10.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the thing that actually crucified
Yeah.
Call of Duty
Forgot about
Ghost
that.
specifically.
It's crazy to think like we're now on like what Series X PS5. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's mental to think that like not that long ago we
The
were
Xbox
sat
One
at
came
home. I'm looking at my Xbox One original box right now.
Bro, I have the
Like,
day one
it's-
controller in my basement.
it's
It still has the Xbox day
incredible.
one on it.
It's incredible. Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, no. I
I
think
would-
Ghosts was actually a solid Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, map wise, gun wise,
Oh, Honey Badger, man.
Great-
Honey
great Call of
Badger.
Duty.
Oh, I
it's not.
love the Honey
It
Badger.
wasn't even a case of like that. Like you said, Infinite Warfare was the worst Call of Duty. I'd agree
100%.
with you, but have you played Vanguard? I'm not being funny, mate.
That's true. I haven't played Vanguard
It is.
I haven't touched it.
Oh my
because I refuse to touch it because it looks
I
The
didn't play.
last-
I didn't
shit.
play. I only played Cold War just because I needed
Yeah.
to for weapons for Warzone.
I
I
played
only
Cold
play
War
Cold War
because
for zombies.
zombies. Exactly.
Zombies is pretty good on that one.
Zombies was good. Zombies was good.
Zombies wasn't horrible, but it wasn't.
It dragged.
It wasn't what I wanted.
Exactly.
But
It was.
It was better than. To be honest, I think I preferred Cold War Zombies to Black Ops 4 Zombies.
Yeah.
I
And
think.
Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Black
the
Ops
IW
3 wasn't.
zombies?
Oh my god! Don't
IW
even.
zombies.
IW can fuck off.
Bro, I don't know.
Wasn't
dude,
that
the clown
Extinction?
zombies?
It was
The clown
Extinction.
zombies were
Yeah.
decent.
No. Extinction
was
was
Ghosts.
Extinction with Ghosts.
Yeah, Extinction
Oh,
was.
it was.
Extinction wasn't that bad.
Extinction was
Extinction
banging.
wasn't
I
horrible.
loved it.
I
It
like
was
the
a nice
fact that you could actually
change.
win.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah,
fact that
it
you
was
could
a
actually
nice
win in
change,
Extinction.
wasn't it?
It was like zombies, but with an actual goal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Ali,
I mean, zombies
we
kinda
haven't
do.
really got the fix
Yeah.
from yourself. Have
Sorry,
you
Ali.
played Call of Duty at
Call of Duty,
length?
like at
or-
all.
I mean, the only Call of Duty that I really remember anything about and playing, and y'all are gonna fucking laugh at me. I'm pretty sure it was the first Black Ops, but it was on
Oh
my
no, dude, Black
Wii.
Ops 1 was great. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was on. It was on
If
my
you don't have an
Wii.
opinion on Call of Duty, okay, so let's
Alright, let's carry on.
No, so literally for
You
like
holding
2
controllers
years
like
of
that.
for like 2 years of having this fucking
Brother.
game, I loved the story, but I could not, like, it wouldn't let me play online. I could never find a match, and I couldn't understand why.
It's
Long
probably
story
'cause you
short,
ain't
no,
able-
no,
you
no,
were
no,
the only
no,
person
no,
on the Wii
no,
playing
no,
it.
no.
Population of 4 people, they're all in private matches.
It was my internet's firewall.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude,
okay.
that's
Oh.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
I remember having to deal with that shit on the Xbox One. Like, that motherfucker sometimes wouldn't connect, so you have to go and
Mhm.
open specific ports on your
Yeah.
computer. And if
Yeah.
you didn't have a computer, then you were just SOL.
I just think it's mind blowing how I don't think there's been a sharper. No, I don't think there's been a sharper fall off of a game franchise.
Nope.
Oh no,
In
hang
recent
on,
years?
hang on though, because
In
Fallout,
recent years?
You forget about Halo.
Fallout
And Halo.
76 was pretty bad.
Forget about-
But
Yeah.
Halo
Bro, from-
fell off way before COD did. Halo fell off
Bro.
after Halo 3. Let's
I think
be
it's
real
a
here.
stupid- I think it's a stupid
Halo
Headspace
4
fell
wasn't
off really
horrible.
hard.
Mhm.
Halo 4 wasn't horrible.
Yeah,
Halo
I mean,
Halo
it was
4 was a
pretty bad.
decent Halo. It
That's
wasn't-
like
it
saying,
wasn't
hey,
bad.
Call of Duty Cold War wasn't horrible. Yeah, but compared to the pedestal it was on,
Yeah,
bro?
yeah. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Halo Infinite's not bad,
See,
but
wait,
that's
are we
only
doing
because
this
I
in
played the
release date or
multiplayer.
timeline?
We're doing this.
Dude, they need to fix their
timeline.
multiplayer. So
Okay,
bad.
timeline, cool.
Didn't they release a
Because
new?
you know what I was gonna say, right?
Didn't they release a new sort of like Halo shit where it's only multiplayer? No, is it Infinite?
That
Yeah,
was
that's
Infinite.
Halo
Yeah,
Infinite.
yeah,
They
yeah.
split.
Halo
They
Infinite.
split the
Which, yeah.
campaign with the multiplayer, so you can download the multiplayer for free. But it's like it's
We didn't
what's
do
it
co-op
called?
yet. We gotta wait like a week until we can play
No.
the campaign.
Mhm.
But it's a live the multiplayer, the Infinite multiplayer is a live service game. So yeah, you got to download it for free, but then you got a battle pass to get. So it's just like, what's the point?
Well,
You know?
that's silly
Bro, speaking of battle
It's so-
passes, yo,
so broken.
Fortnite is dropping the Dragon Ball Z guys on the
I-
16th of
thing.
August.
That is
Cannot wait.
that is incredible
No.
because I don't care, mate. I'm going to be honest with you.
I
Like,
fucking
I'm not
do.
going back
just
to that
don't care.
game.
Is that what the next
No.
season is? Is it really?
I don't know. They're just releasing Dragon Ball Z characters on the 16th. That's all I know.
I'm not going back to that
I
game.
hope
I'm
their
They-
battle pass. I hope their battle pass and not
They
store
peaked-
because-
Their store.
Oh, no.
They,
I'm
um,
gonna lose so
no,
much
'cause-
money. My son loves Dragon Ball Z. I am going to be broke.
Bro,
I'm
me
gonna have to
too.
buy literally everything for him, man.
I will give Fortnite what it's due, right? Like
It's transcended
best
just gaming.
decision. Oh, dude, 100%.
100%.
The best decision they ever made was in
Excellent, yeah.
putting that. Yeah, it was best decision they ever was to have an option for no building. But even then, after a while, it got a bit like, what is a tanks?
Yeah. when they
Yeah, why
they
is there
started
tanks, bruv?
when they
Oh,
started adding all those like
no.
weird guns and everything, like back when the no build
So-
started, and there was like maybe 4 different variations of guns, like snipers and like the
Yeah.
burst rifle and everything. That's when it
Mhm.
peaked,
I
and that's
loved it.
before they
Season
started
3.
added all those like lightsabers and all the stuff
And the
they
Star
had in like
Wars
the
shit,
previous
bro.
ones.
They were
That's
so
when they just
bad.
literally they just ruined it from the get go.
Well,
I'm just like,
it wasn't
The
even
second
like
Star Wars
uh,
blaster, you might as well hit them with a fucking pickaxe.
I think it was back
exactly.
in I think it was like
One-
season 4. The second they added the mechs into the game,
Yeah.
Mm,
it was over. It was over.
The one thing I
I
don't
yep.
understand is like we're already in a game where it's battle royale and it's like you have to watch out for other players, and why add NPCs that also damage us?
yeah, that was a bit.
That we have to
Yes,
fight.
I
Like
feel
I get it, but I don't.
That was
that's
only
I
in like
feel like
certain
that
modes, though,
was
wasn't it? Like that was
No,
yeah.
when
No,
when
it's in everything now.
when no build came out, which is most recently what got us all back into the game
Oh, those like guards and everything.
on the
Yeah,
drills,
yeah.
the
I feel
drills
like-
and
IL
stuff.
guards and
Oh
shit.
yeah.
I
You've
feel
got
like they
near
were
and they
Wait,
shoot
those
you.
areas. I forget about those.
They were
I was just
there for
thinking, like,
players
before
who were
Nightmares.
yeah, I feel like they were there for players who were not very confident in like PvP formats, so they were kind of like they go into Fortnite because all their friends are playing it, and so
I get
then they
that,
see the
but
guards.
like when you're trying to go past and they're shooting at you and damaging your shit, like what's the point of that?
Mhm.
Like maybe
But-
maybe they should be like passive unless you shoot them. You know what I
The
mean?
guards are only in the high loot
That
areas.
is how
like
they
the
are now.
blimps and
Yeah, some of them are like that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
The
like
one
there
thing I'm gonna
was
say
I don't think
is
they
the
just
death
randomly
to no
aggro
builds.
anymore.
The one thing that's the death to no builds is the 50 overshield. Because just like it, I don't think that the 50 overshield that you spawn in with is a good idea for the game, period. Especially when you add building into it. Because all some motherfucker do is has to put in a couple walks and walls in front of them. Now their overshield is healing up, so they could be at 12 health, but now they've got 50 additional shield that's constantly regenerating. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily
I got an
think-
argument. I got an argument
Okay.
for it. I like it for the fact that you're running away, right? You're trying to rotate into circle. Somebody shoots you from behind. That overshield gives you enough time to have a fair chance to do a 180 turn and have a gunfight.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. If I had the upper hand advantage on you, and I've already got you with a shot or two, I shouldn't be like, okay, the guy is at still 100, and I just took a 50 of his shield. I've already hit you a bunch.
I mean, I hear it. I hear it.
That's just catering too much.
guess.
That's like the skill-based matchmaking shit all over again. That's the other thing. Fuck Fortnite, fix your goddamn elo ranking. I cannot play the game for a month, hop in, and get slaughtered on drop just because my elo is so goddamn high.
That's
Bullshit.
true. That does need to get fixed.
Oh,
Like the
God.
servers too. Like it should. I don't need. How does it work? It can't be a collective thing because before
No,
wasn't
it
it
is.
just
It's
whoever was
if you,
host?
no,
Yeah.
so it's a collective thing now. So it bases it off of your kills, your
Oh my
SPM, and your crown ratio.
Wait, that's where we get host.
No. That's how you get into a lobby.
Oh,
Right? So
That's what
it's skill-based
determines it?
matchmaking. Yeah. So it's score per minute, meaning like damage inflicted overall throughout the course of a game. They average it out to score per minute. So it's based off of score per minute, your total kills, and how many crowns you've gotten.
Oh, okay.
that's dumb.
I always
So,
wondered,
like-
'cause it's
like I
I'll play
said-
solos and I'll be fine, and then it's like my son wants to play, and then it's
You
just
can't
kind
play
of
with
like,
him.
I can't
No.
enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's like I die right away. He's got 17 kills, and it's like, all right,
No,
cool,
legit,
man.
bro.
Like, do
I
you.
hop on with my boy every Friday night, and I don't get to play. Like, we will drop, and because like, so take this in. 3 months ago, I got my buddy from work to hop on. He had to make a whole Fortnite account and shit like that. I carried him. We got 9 dubs in a row. Ever since then, because like the first 4 lobbies were complete bot lobbies. Ever since then, my elo has been so high because it's like 18 kills a game, never a down, victories 8-9 games in a row. My elo is so I can't even fucking land in a goddamn game now. I'm parachuting in. Motherfuckers got an SMG pinging me. I'm already down before my feet have hit the ground. These kids are some next level shit. They need to fix their skill base. 100%.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What
I
is,
isn't it?
feel like when it's
Here, we got a
Oh.
little bit of a transition here. What's the first battle royale you guys have all played? What was the very first one you played?
Oh,
PUBG.
PUBG? I think mine was also No, DayZ.
Is that
the
a
OG
battle? That's not a
days.
battle royale.
Was it not back in the day?
No,
It was.
no,
It
that's
was.
not a battle royale.
Yeah.
I think
But
originally
it,
wasn't it?
Daisy.
No,
Daisy
because
had.
Daisy is like Tarkov. It's not
No,
battle
no,
royale.
Daisy-
No,
Daisy
no,
had a-
Daisy. Yeah, it had
Yeah,
a
Daisy
mod.
had a mod.
Oh no, that's fucking Armor 2. That's not DayZ. That's Armor 2.
That's what DayZ is.
Is that
DayZ uses the
DayZ
Armor
was a
2
mod
engine.
from Armor 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they made the
But-
another mod on DayZ, which was a battle royale.
Mhm.
And then that shut down, and
then they
then
moved to PUBG.
they created PUBG. Yeah,
No, because they still have, I don't know.
because
my
Player Unknown was the person who created the original mod for DayZ's
Battle
royale.
Royale.
And when that shut down, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make our own battle royale then," and then made PUBG.
Buck? You
PUBG
wanna
was bussin' for a bit.
go next? The first one you played.
The first one, I think technically the first one I played was probably Blackout. I think that was the
Oh,
that was the
fuck, I
first
forgot
one,
about
I
that.
was on console, but the first one that I'm actually going to consider like a battle royale, because I always felt like it was more authentic if you played on PC, was H1Z1. So,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think H1Z1 was mine.
Actually, no, that's what I meant. I didn't mean DayZ. I think it was
yeah, H1Z1. That's what I was thinking you were meaning, and I couldn't think of the name. But yeah, no,
I'm
first PC one was that, but Blackout was Blackout was my first one for sure.
No, it wasn't H1Z1.
I'm gonna shit house this question.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Minecraft Hunger Games.
You're just gonna say fucking Warzone.
Oh
innit?
yeah, legit. That was
It
the first
it was,
battle royale.
but the
Yeah.
first
Warzone,
the first
wasn't it? Yeah.
battle royale I played was Player Unknowns, but the first one I enjoyed was Warzone. Warzone at the time was
What meta did you come in at?
bruv. We was
Bro.
which one did we have? We played that shit do you know when COVID hit and it came out literally the perfect time. Everyone was off. The perfect time it released, right?
Oh yeah, no, we was day one.
We couldn't get on me personally, I don't know about these guys. I couldn't get on for the whole day when they released it. So the very first game I played was because I weren't feeling too good at the time. It was a week after, and I think the meta at that point was come on,
Growl. No.
no,
That would have been way earlier.
the very first ones I remember poignantly was the Growl being an absolute machine.
Yeah,
but meta
yeah, it was the
wise, I think
Growl,
I think we started with the Growl being that.
Oh, okay.
But
That was my favorite. That was my favorite.
Yeah, bro, the Growl was
Oh, man.
dirty.
I never played much Warzone.
I loved it.
Oh,
I'm very.
bro, you
I
missed
am.
out.
I've
I
never
am
played Warzone.
very excited for Warzone 2.
Oh
Very
yeah,
excited.
I am.
Is it gonna be
I am
free?
playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
But
buying
it's
the
a live
game anyway.
service, so
Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in Modern Warfare 2, I know it's not a direct remake of the original Modern Warfare 2, but is there going to be something like No Russian in there?
Probably not, considering that
Probably
game nearly
not.
got
I don't think
cancelled
you
when that
could-
was coming
you
out.
could
Yeah,
get away with it. I don't think you could
yeah.
get
that
away with
was
it,
that was back in the day where games weren't really cancelled
You've-
for anything,
you've got a-
and then that game almost got cancelled. Like,
I don't know
Oh,
if
Manhunt got
I
canceled.
don't know if you remember, right?
Manhunt's
But
funny.
Modern Warfare 2 had that mission. Do you remember in Modern Warfare 3 where the Eiffel Tower got hit and it fell?
Yeah.
Bro, people were complaining out the ass like that,
Because it looked so real.
talking like you've just assassinated someone, like a poignant figure.
Like,
Could you
calm down,
imagine?
it's a video game,
Could you
bro.
imagine if they'd done a no Russian mission in a flagship title like Call of Duty today,
Well,
bruv?
Did they release it when they released the Modern Warfare 2 storyline? Did they re-release the No Russian mission?
The
Yeah.
remastered one?
Mm-hmm.
The Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 2 remastered campaign, it's in there, yeah.
Mm.
There's an
So then I
option.
don't-
There's an option at the skip it, the mission
Yeah,
entirely.
that was always in Modern Warfare 2 though.
Yeah.
That
Was
was
it?
even
I
in the
don't know.
OG Modern Warfare 2.
that's how they got away
Which
with
no one did.
bringing it out.
No, absolutely not. You're like, I want to
that's
see this
literally the
grotesque
only-
shit.
That's the only
Mhm.
part of a COD campaign I've ever played.
No
No
Russian.
Russian?
That's literally it. I've never,
No
I've never
Russian.
touched any other
I
COD campaign.
I
ever.
I,
What about
I
Mile
think
High
I'm the
Club?
same. I think
Part
I'm the
4.
same with that because I at the time was I'm not going to self snitch, but I shouldn't be playing the type of games. I should have been
Neither
on
should I.
fucking wacky races or some shit, dude. I don't know. I
Minecraft.
I couldn't. I was hearing it like, dude, there's a mission where you go into an airport, and I was like, no fucking way. You know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Let's get a load of
It
this
was
guy.
almost unbelievable.
Fuck that. So I got home, brought it on my Xbox, played through it, and I was like,
Oh shit!
okay,
Bro.
so it exists.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first played it, I mowed every fucker down.
Oh, 100%. So I'm gonna say this right now. The one thing I remember vividly about Modern Warfare 2, So I live
That's
in
part of the
Canada,
game.
as we all know. Is UK? You guys are what? 12 hours ahead of us, something like that. 6 hours ahead of us.
Six. I think
Six, right?
6 or 8
10,
depends on their
10:48 now.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, it's
it's
10:48
five.
now.
It's 5:48. So it's five. You guys are 5
5
hours
hours.
ahead. So I remember the night before Modern Warfare 2 dropped, my buddy Mikey, who lives in the UK, he got Modern Warfare 2 at midnight. Your guys is midnight. So we were up all. I was up all night while he was playing it, and he got to the no Russian mission. I thought he was completely fucking with me. I had to wait until 10 a.m. that following morning before I could go pick up my copy. So I go pick up my copy and I start playing it. And as soon as I get to the mission, I'm like, this motherfucker was legit.
It blew genuinely. It blew me away.
Yeah,
You know-
I didn't take him serious. Cause like we have dark senses of humor, right? We fucking talk about shit, and he's just like, nah, man, I'm in a fucking airport mowing down everybody. And I'm like, nah, man, it's got to be capping. Like, there's no way a video game, especially a AAA big box office game like fucking Call of Duty, would do something like this. I couldn't believe it. And then I put it in and fucking got there. I was like, motherfucker wasn't lying.
I think that was
and then
the.
nowadays you got shit like GTA.
I think that mission there. Bit of a controversial opinion. I think that mission there was them trying to test just about how much shit they could get rid of.
100%.
Oh, 100%.
Because
that's all that was.
I don't know if it was true or not, but I'm reading on a website that in Modern Warfare 3 you was apparently in a part of a team. Not going to mention the name because we'd get fucking beheaded or something. The joke, by the way.
Well,
Where you
They're
went,
Oh,
disbanded.
it was rumored that you were going to be part of a team that killed a jihadist. No, a jihadist
Oh.
leader. And what happened around then? It was the time of Osama bin Laden got assassinated.
Yep.
And I remember, dude, I don't even know. I would have given anything to be in the office at that time, because if that was a mission in the game, and that happened, people would be like, "Are we gonna
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
are we gonna cut it here?" Or because I don't know if it was true or not, but I remember reading on multiple websites that there was supposed to be a mission in Modern Warfare 3 where you were
It wouldn't surprise me.
a part of a team where you were going.
Bro,
to...
Modern Warfare 3, you're literally there's a
wild.
mission where you see was it not Price? Who's the guy that you play as in
Soap?
COD 4?
Soap.
Yuri.
Soap.
Oh no, Soap. Soap.
So you see Soap get a fucking terrorist, strap him
Yeah.
down to a chair and start torturing the fucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
goddamn jumper
there's-
cables and shit, bro.
there
I'm
was.
sorry. That's
it's-
a war crime.
good old
I
days.
think that there would have, if the backlash wouldn't have been so bad, I
Oh,
think
from
we
the Modern
wouldn't.
Warfare 2 thing.
It's not even a case of like it was unjustified, because if I was at that time when I was like, I'd understand it if I was a dad, and you don't really want your child at the age, especially I was playing that mission, to see that. You know?
Same.
That's the thing,
But,
right?
like,
Is
then
it
it-
was
It's
rated
so fucked up now.
18, but like in
I definitely
actuality,
wasn't
it was like
12.
10, 12-year-olds that were playing it.
Yeah,
Everybody knew
easily.
this.
Easily.
Just like GTA. Most of its fucking viewer base and player base is like 10, 12-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Yeah.
just how video games are, straight up.
For
That's
us-
why
for
Fortnite's
us-
so successful.
For us, when
This
the No Russian thing came out, like nobody, like we didn't think it was like even anything crazy.
No.
Because we've been
I've seen
like,
worse on
we've
the
been
internet.
we were 7th graders playing San Andreas, just trying to sleep
Yeah.
with hookers and then kill them just so we
Yeah.
got our money back. And
Finding a
that's what we
purple
were doing
dildo
all
in the
day.
police station.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, oh, we gotta go into an airport and do this. I mean, we were playing like Mission Impossible games where it's like we had to snipe, the target or whatever. But it's like we were just trying to get as many civilians as possible.
Splinter
So
Cell.
it was like that,
God.
like wasn't
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and bear
You
in
know?
mind the rest of the
banging game.
campaign, you're already killing a bunch of people in Modern Warfare. So
Yeah.
when you're just looking at it, most kids would just look at it as if, oh, we're just going to kill a bunch more people. Like, fair
Yeah.
enough, they don't have guns, but we're
Right.
still going to shoot at them regardless.
I
At
got
least this
100
mission's
rounds, I
gonna
got
be
100
easy. I know I'm not
targets,
dying.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I would
Kind of
I
plot
would
twist at the end though.
I would love to know if there's like a video out there, a video out there detailing about how many war crimes were committed across the Modern Warfare franchise, because I'd easily guess it's in the hundreds.
Oh,
Like, there was
so
one
many.
there was one mission when you were, I think, oh fuck, man, Modern Warfare 2, you was in the favelas, is it Brazil?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
civilians and you literally told to like, control your fire. Motherfucker, was you shit, dog. Come on.
Yeah.
You had grenade.
You
You
took
had
that shit from
grenades.
veteran. You took that shit from veteran to easy just so you could mow everybody
You had
down.
grenades. All I'm gonna say, you had grenades in your pocket for a reason.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean?
Mate, if you
It's-
have them, you're not gonna
Exactly.
not use them.
You're not going.
They're
You're
not
not
used
going
to you
back
when you're
with a.
dead.
You're not going back with a
Exactly.
full backpack, mate. It's not happening.
Exactly. Then they're not used to if you're gonna go back with them.
Yeah, it was.
They're given to you for a reason.
Civilians, more like fucking.
Target practice.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's gonna.
Here, we
That's out of
got
context.
I got a bit of a
In-game.
segue here. What's the worst video game that you actually paid money for that you've played?
Oh,
This is a
'Cause
question
I got
everyone
one.
can get in.
Uh,
You've got
Let me check
Ali.
my Steam real quick.
Ali, we'll start with you because you had a
I-
reaction.
Quiet for a
no,
while.
don't start with me. It's gonna take me a minute to think of this.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll
I need
go.
a minute too. I'm gonna need a minute too.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Quantum
fine.
Break. Quantum Break.
Wow.
That game
Never
was
played it.
so fucking hyped. I remember when the Xbox One was released, it was supposed to be a release title that got delayed. It got delayed, I think, 2 years afterwards. I was so excited to play this game because, like, the
Let me
trailers
see.
for it were fucking sick. Everything was sick. Your actions were actually supposed to mean something. I played the game. It's 6 hours long. It's a single player game. Literally completed everything on the game in 6 hours. Got 100% gamer score on it. Everything. The game was such bullshit. There is no replayability. There's no nothing. You hop in, you find out you've got these powers where you can like slow down time / stop time / make you teleport. Then you fight this guy who has the same abilities as you because he was made in the same testing lab as you. Blah blah. Such horseshit. Your decisions don't matter because like literally. Like when you're part of the way to get all the gamer score is what I do is right before you have to make a crucial decision, I'd save the game, and then I'd make one decision, get the gamer score, make the other decision, and I'd play both storylines because you have to, right? So fucking you play through all the storyline. The ending is the exact same. Nothing has changed. There's no difference. It is the most bullshit $100 I've ever spent on a video game that I cannot get back.
I'll go next because I've got one. As soon as you said that question, my blood started to boil. I'll give you a little backstory, right? I don't know if you know this. You won't be able to tell from my webcam, but I actually love the Marvel genre, everything to do with it. Couldn't tell
Yeah,
by
no
the
shit.
webcam.
No.
you couldn't tell by the
there,
Stormbreaker behind
there
you.
is a game where I took a day off work to play. It's Marvel's Avengers.
I was literally about to come to that as well. That was going to be my one as
When
well.
I tell you, right, this is, you say what you want. The night before I couldn't sleep. I wanted to play the game so fucking bad.
Was I here for this? I think I was.
I
Probably.
literally played it. I think you were. People was asking me questions how it was. Didn't reply. I was literally sat at my computer like this.
Now, I'd like to
Just-
interject something though. The story regarding
The story was good. It was
the story was really fucking good.
faultless, right? But what we saw in the trailers compared to what we got,
They should not have.
Break.
They should not have made it a looter shooter.
it was incredible how fucking shit it was. You had to
They
replay the
literally-
first
yeah.
3 missions multiple times to progress in the story at one point. There was upgrades that you only had a chance of getting from shooting an enemy that respawns every 5 seconds, right? And it never dropped. There was the stories of how the Avengers got back together after the whole A-Day. It was just such a massive letdown. The other one where my opinions flipped on it, that's what we can probably segue into now. What game didn't you like but you learned to like?
Well, let these 3 or 4.
Yeah,
answer
definitely.
this.
Was oh yeah, we'll go out. But yeah, no, mine was Marvel's Avengers.
We'll circle back.
I
Now-
sometimes I lay in bed and I get angry. Like I want to punch a wall.
I
Yeah.
have the exact same answer as Venny, where it's Marvel's Avengers. Now, I personally think that the story was like we said, the story was faultless. It was incredible. It should not have been a looter shooter. It was just it made the game so unbelievably dull and boring that it was just kind of like you have all these collections of characters, and then you've got Hulk, running round, struggling to kill enemies
Yeah, it was a joke.
because you're not because your gear is not strong enough. I'm sorry,
It was a
you're the
joke.
fucking Hulk.
It's incredibly
You,
dumb.
how are you not strong enough to kick a guy with a gun?
It's dumb.
Like, it was unbelievably stupid.
I would be quite happy, and I mean this when I say this, I would be quite happy if the company that made that game goes bust.
What, Square Enix?
Fuck. Oh wait, no, that may Ghost of Tsushima. Fuck.
Yeah,
No,
I was
never
about to
mind.
say, my guy.
Never mind. Let me.
And I play Final Fantasy 14, my guy. Please don't say that.
Let me take a. Oh, they didn't make Ghost of Tsushima. No, Sucker Punch was it not? I mean, Sucker Punch made
Square
Ghost of
Enix,
Tsushima.
didn't they make Outriders as well?
Oh well,
as well?
I stand by.
Oh,
I stand by
right.
my decision. Then fuck them company, dude.
Wait, no, hold on. They
Hey,
didn't make
Outriders
Outriders.
is good.
Fuck
No.
them.
Yes, they
dog.
did. On the opening, when the thing is flying across the screen, it's a Square Enix.
All right, you Buck. Have you got your worst game? You fucking
I
hated.
had to Google it
It
'cause I didn't
wasn't-
remember it.
Do you need more time? Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
I got
figured
it.
it out. It was what I was hoping was going to be the greatest shooter of all time. It was supposed to be a
Titanfall?
mix between Call of Duty and Battlefield. And I was so excited for it. I think I even took a day off of school, or I was supposed to do something. I was so excited to play this game. I think it was like $20 to $40 when it came out. It was this shooter game called Homefront.
Oh
And it was
god.
just the worst game I had ever played. The commercial for it made it look so clean, so nice. You would get it, dude. The controls were chunky, they were clunky. Nothing was optimized right. It was literally, I think that's probably the only game I've ever paid for that I just hated. Just hated it. Homefront.
So Homefront, Avengers, and what was it? Only two of us gone, yeah.
Quantum Break.
Homefront, Avengers, Quantum Break. Ali, what's yours? I'm gonna guess for you. Horizon Forbidden West. Next question. Nah, go on. Go
I
on.
never even finished that.
She loves Horizon, bless her. She
I
can't
would
go
die
enough of
for
it.
Breaking your neck.
Horizon.
I loved the first one. Never. I played about 3 hours of the second one. Never played it again.
All right, let's get out.
Yeah, you gotta get into it. Anyways, so the only game that I can think of that I've owned that I've like absolutely fucking hated and like couldn't even figure it out to play it. I didn't buy it. My mom bought it for me for Christmas one year when I was a kid. Well, Santa bought it for me, but that's another story.
Santa's
It was
not real?
like it was like 5 days before Christmas, and me and my mom and my sister were at Walmart, and I saw a Yu-Gi-Oh game for PlayStation 2, and I really wanted it because I watched Yu-Gi-Oh on TV. And then on Christmas morning, Santa brought it to me. And I still to this day can't play it. I feel like I have a broken copy. There's just one point in the game where like the story doesn't progress no matter what you do, and I can't figure it out, and it's still out in my living room, and I fucking hate it.
It's fucking
Is it?
shit, ain't it, man? That's just a game that's unfinished.
I have
Like,
I
it's-
have one more game that's just kind of like the exact same problem. I don't know if you guys can see this. This game called Gex.
Oh my
Gex?
god.
Yeah.
Never
Gex.
played.
I think I had a broken
Don't
copy.
even
I got to
fucking
this
start with Get.
one level where I had to jump over this like TV to try to get in this other one, and I just couldn't do it. I was just Gex was oh man.
And like I remember a couple years ago, I went back to this game to try and understand it. And like was googling how to progress at this part, and it like wouldn't fucking progress. Like I swear to God, I had a dupe copy.
What were
Jack,
yours,
which
Joe?
was-
If you can think
Um,
of one. I mean, to be fair, in your line of work, you should be
Yeah.
pinging.
Well, yeah. But you forget I don't really have a console anymore, so.
It doesn't have to be console. What video
know.
game did you purchase or have purchased for you? Like
Yeah.
if you were a child at that point, that makes sense. That you it was a complete waste of money. You wish it was never purchased.
You know what? This might be a bit controversial. Cyberpunk.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised no one has said it.
Ooh.
I was
I haven't played it.
considering saying it, but
Don't.
like recently, it has improved. However, at launch,
Bruv,
yes,
it's been
it
out
would have.
for it's been out for what? Over a year and a
years?
half? 2 years maybe?
You look
No,
like
I'm
Cyberpunk
just
saying-
2077.
just quickly,
2019.
just hop in.
Yeah,
Buck,
almost 2 years.
you look like you had a zap of some sorts.
Me?
Yeah, you like something comes
Wait,
to your
what
mind.
Oh well, I was just thinking of in terms of I guess like I was I guess in my brain taking it a step further, and it was just like, was there anything else like other than games that I think I had bought and that I just absolutely like regretted? And it was the PS Vita. I
Oh
had that
my god.
for maybe 2 hours. And then
Mhm.
I instantly was just all like, no, this is terrible. I want my money back. And I literally returned it. I brought it back and I was like, no, thank you. And I got my money back. And that was the happiest that I've ever put money back into my pocket. That I
PS
was able to
Vita.
return that one. So that's what I was thinking of.
Proud of you for that one.
And then I was just gonna ask the question: is there any game that you guys actually got to return that you guys were like, thank goodness? You know, you were glad
No.
you got your money
Yes.
back. Anything?
Ooh.
Yeah, there were a few games on Steam because
Oh,
like they
dude.
had that whole like 24-hour,
It's not
I didn't
even.
know that was a rule.
two
I didn't know that was a
2
rule
hours or
until like a
whatever.
week ago.
I'll tell you something. Me and that refund request button, we're married. We have children.
Yeah.
It's
One
incredible.
of the biggest
man.
video game regrets was Cyberpunk. I bought it, played it for 2 hours, and I'm like, dude, I have a 3080 and I'm dropping frames for no fucking reason. This makes no sense.
Oh, man.
It was just unplayable. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, this isn't worth it.
Could
So
tell
I
you-
And that shit got delayed by so much, and it was still
Mhm.
that fucking
Overhyped.
shit.
Well, the thing is, it
Overhyped.
goes back to what we said earlier. You release a game
Joke.
unfinished.
Mhm.
What do you expect? I can tell you a game that I
Yeah, but
Nostalgia.
refunded,
nice.
but I refunded
that.
recently.
Oh my
I
God,
was
love
looking to
those.
see if I still had the Yu-Gi-Oh game, and I found my Game Boy, and it
I have
has
SP.
an
somewhere
unmarked
over
game
there.
in it.
Mine's got the fucking
That's worrying.
mine's got the fucking symbol marks all over it and
Yeah,
shit.
no, mine is very damaged because I was a stupid kid that painted it and scratched the shit out of it. But it's the
Leaf kid.
multicolored one.
There's a game that just to answer your question there, but there's a game that recently I might get a bit of hate for it. Stray.
It was not that good.
Oh,
Okay,
I
Ellie,
cat
we're
game, the
doing a
cat game.
podcast here.
I couldn't
cat
Ellie,
I couldn't get into it. The cat game Stray.
The cat game.
Was it not good?
I was
I
told
get
to
it.
play it.
Okay, people
I
like
haven't
it.
done it.
It's a
Haven't done it.
good story. I've heard. Right, sure, good thing.
I loved the game. I don't think it's worth the amount.
I played.
How much is it? What's it going for?
It's like 35 Canadian.
35 Canadian.
Okay.
That means it's
30
probably
US,
what?
Probably?
like
30,
20, 30 bucks.
30?
30,
25
25,
bucks.
30?
I
Yeah.
played the game up until that point where I was able to formulate an actual opinion on it, and I was just like,
£24.
I don't want to play this no more.
well, it's not a AAA title game.
Oh no,
It's
but
36.99.
the way it was hyped up, right? When everyone saw it at that PlayStation event, where I'm not gonna lie to you, everyone and their nan was hoping for a Spider-Man release. Different story. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's kind of cool game, I guess." You know.
It's just like it's supposed to be a cute little indie game, not
I-
a
It
wasn't-
$37
yeah.
game.
It was an indie game, and then because people got hyped into it, that's when investors started putting like all their fucking money into it, and then they were like building up and building up and building up, and then when it came out, everyone's just like, "Oh, what is this?" And it's just like, well, it's an indie game. It wasn't meant to be a AAA title.
But
Yeah,
was just meant to be
but
something
in
fun.
that case, why charge like $37 for it? Like,
Okay,
Well,
but you're
to
not.
be
it's
fair,
not
that's almost
charging
the
it-
going rate for like indie games to be
Yeah,
Exactly.
considering
You're not
nowadays.
charging it
AAAs are
60.
what?
Considering
70?
AAAs are double, if not triple that.
No, but
depending on the games you buy.
understand where she's coming from, right? I don't from the vibe I got, right? It seemed like it was going to be a long game. I'll watch you.
Phasmophobia,
Mm.
which probably has more button interactions than Stray. No, I know it does. It's only $15. So
Yeah,
why
but
is
you've
Stray
also-
37?
You've also got to
You've
think.
also-
You've also got to think as well is that Stray is a game that's owned by, in my opinion, well, under the provider of,
Sony.
in my opinion, one of the most tight-fisted pricks ever in relation to video
Yeah.
games is Sony. So, as soon as
It's just
Sony's
like you
in with it,
understand my aspect in like
And also,
it's a good game, but it's $37 and it doesn't get
it's
updated.
not-
It's
it's
a
not
done
the-
story. But then there's Phasmophobia, that's a $16 game, $16 game that gets updated every week.
yeah.
you've
You know
also
what I
got to
mean?
think. You've also got to think about like the very sharp differences between those. Like, look at the graphical quality of Stray. Look at like the
graphics are
soundtrack.
really
Phasmophobia
fucking
graphics are
fucking-
okay.
Beautiful.
Compared
Mm,
to Stray, no.
no,
Stray's beautiful. Stray's beautiful.
Stray
Oh,
literally
Dude,
has
graphically wise, I could not fault it.
yeah,
But
Stray has all those kind of like the fucking ray tracing shit and all that.
but
Yeah,
like,
but just like, bro,
before
you can beat this game in under 3 hours.
for me, before the shine of I'm playing as a cat rubbed off, I was just like, where's the story going? And I couldn't tell
There's
you.
a
Mm.
there's a trophy in Stray to beat it under 2.5 hours,
I'm not
and it's
surprised.
$37.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It's one of them games, isn't it? Where like it's
I don't
just
know.
I have a question.
come on.
Mm.
When do you think we're gonna move from paying for video games to games being free to play but being loaded with microtransactions?
Never.
Because
Never.
I honestly prefer that method.
No, I
Um,
agree.
Nope.
I'll tell you when I think it will happen, but it will never will happen. The time they make games that release every year free to play, Madden, FIFA,
Oh yeah, they won't because EA's a
NBA.
cunt.
Yeah, the times they make them free to play, and then you have to pay like $5.99 to have a different ball, $5.99 to get your player to lace his boots up a different way, shit like that. Then I think people will be changing to it. But in relation to where it's free to play with
I hope
microtransactions,
that it happens.
it's never gonna
Well,
happen.
the
So-
thing is, you got games like Elden Ring though, which are fully made games, which are charging for a full price game, yet they've got no microtransactions, no DLCs.
Those are the exceptions. Those and Dark Souls, I'd say, are like gems. Those are the
Yes,
exceptions.
but with those, you could
No.
have the microtransactions on the side of cosmetics.
You could, but those are games.
Exactly.
Those are games that cater to people that you want to hate yourself without having the option to buy anything extra. Yeah, play this game.
Well, like
I
Jack
feel
said,
like you should have the option.
the microtransactions could totally just be cosmetic. Like Destiny
Yeah,
did
it
that.
could just on your blade. It could just be a fire fucking. You could just have a
But the
fire.
thing
Warframe
is-
does
a
that,
flame
bro.
blade.
But the thing
Warframe
is,
does
the
that.
developers of Elden Ring, from software, are dedicating to making actual like good quality games that don't require.
So
you
why
know,
can't they make a good quality game FTP where you pay microtransactions for cosmetic things only that doesn't change the game fundamentals in any way, shape, or form?
because that's not what they're interested in. They want to make those
They're not.
blockbuster games that take. Elden Ring came out and it was the biggest thing that happened.
Yeah, it was literally the biggest thing for like 2 months.
Dark Souls
Hey,
came
but
out,
you guys
and that was the
still are
biggest
just
thing that
saying
happened.
no, they can't. But
No,
you're not giving me a reason as to
I don't.
why.
I don't think they will because they're not focused on that. That's not their model.
It's-
I don't
it's
think
not-
they will.
it's
Yes,
not a
but if
reason.
the game goes free to play, then that will
You're
probably change
getting
the
more
mind.
people to go to play that
It's
game.
it's not a thing of, oh, why don't they do it? It's just a choice of they won't do it
But
because
why?
Yeah.
they want, with that one big purchase, they can make more. Let's say it's a $60
won't.
game.
No, they won't.
$60 game, they can make more money from just doing that than having cosmetics. Because people who play
I can tell
Elden
you
Ring,
you're wrong and explain to you why you're wrong right now. Number
Well,
one,
okay.
if the game is free to play,
You have
you're
more people
more
playing.
you have more people playing the game automatically. Yeah, right off the rip, you've got people who wouldn't have even like case in point, me. If Elden Ring was free, I would have actually given it a shot. Since I have to pay $80 to $100 for it, it's not worth it for me because I know I'm gonna hate my life. Now, if I didn't have any investment into it, then I'd be more likely to play it. And then if I enjoy it, then I would put money into it because that's what people do when they play free to play games. I have a lot of experience in free to play games like Warframe specifically.
Because you could have
don't know
cosmetics that
general-
are
Fortnite, boys, we all play fucking
$3.99,
Fortnite. Free to play. You tell
$4.99.
me you never bought a skin before?
Case in point.
yeah, but that's
Yeah,
not.
but
It's
that-
that's a
Fortnite, though. I
that's
don't-
a
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing. It's the same concept.
Is
They're
it?
just
no, but
cosmetics.
They're
Fortnite's
just
a live
cosmetic.
service game.
Doesn't matter. They're just cosmetic. Doesn't
No,
change
it's
the
not. It's
fundamentals of
it's
the
season
game.
pass.
Yeah, it's you get stuff.
It's
You get
still just cosmetic.
No,
But
but you've
like
got to buy the
it's-
season pass in order to progress in the game. That's what I'm saying.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No.
No,
There's
you
Not-
don't.
not to
You can play
pro- not
Fortnite
to
completely
progress.
free.
You get to progress your
And-
cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
it is.
purely cosmetics.
You
Getting
progress
it doesn't
those
change the
cosmetics.
doesn't give you an upper edge in the game like
Doesn't
Let's
change
just
the
say, like,
fundamentals of the game.
let's just say like Advanced Warfare where you had the different variants where you had the speakeasy. If anyone had the speakeasy, you'd be fucked. Simple as that.
Does anybody
Whereas
know? Do they
if
have
it
a battle
was-
pass for Save the World?
No.
I've never played that game
I've
mode.
never played it either. I've never either. I forget.
Just-
it's a
No,
thing.
they don't have a battle
Just quickly,
pass for that, no.
what do you think on the
No.
topic then, Buck? Do you think we'll ever be in a position where games are releasing to be free to play with transactions?
I think it could be for sure. I think certain things would have to happen in order for it
Come
to
see
get that
everybody.
point. And I think at the point where newer games start following that method would only be after older games came back out that we all played as kids that came out the way that they were, but then you would buy mods. So it's like, okay, you get to play James Bond GoldenEye on the 64 as it was on the 64, but now you can play $5 and
Updated
instead of
graphics, bro,
guns,
updated
everybody's
graphics.
ninjas, or something like that. So once you're playing all these games that you love,
Oh, that'd be
Banjo
sick.
Kazooie, or you're playing, Donkey Kong Country, you're running around playing Perfect Dark, you're playing what's that? Time Splitters, like you were
Turok.
on, Turok, all these games. Once you're
Oh,
going to play
Turok was
those
fucking
and
sick.
pay for mods, then the new game companies are going to have to compete with that. And at that point, that's when I think they would. But only because
Interesting.
everybody's going back. Who isn't going to go back and stream the game that they played, the majority of their whole lives as a child?
Our next question
That's when I think would happen.
that's really interesting. It's actually giving me a next question. You said it would take a case of someone to do it, right?
Mhm.
Out of fuck it, no. Who do you think, given the modern economical situation of games now, who do you think will be the first company or game umbrella to do just that? Who do you think will be
already
the
seen it.
first? No, but not as in like okay,
Fortnite.
yeah, but Fortnite isn't okay. I want about story and multiplayer wise. So do you think Call of Duty will ever be in a position where you release it free to play?
No.
I think
If it's got story, if it's got a campaign and like other shit like a survival based gameplay mode like zombies and everything, they would not release it as free to play. If it was just like a battle royale game or like a multiplayer based game, then I can see them creating it to be free to play. But since they have like the campaign and the zombies and all that, they would not make it free to play at all.
What do you think, Buck?
I think that in order for it to happen, it would have to be the biggest shock, I think, in video game history, but you would have to be able to play Nintendo games on PC. That has to happen first.
Legally.
You have to be able to play. Once you can play Nintendo games on PC, that's when the shift changes.
Legally.
And that's when Nintendo rises up from the ashes and puts a boot on everybody's neck.
So
Yeah.
Bucky
That's it,
just
100%.
nailed half a
Put the
portion
nail
of
in
what
the
I was going to
coffin.
say. There are 3 pillars
That's one of
to
them. for
ending
sure.
this video game bullshit, where it's
Yeah.
not FTP, where there's not cross plat. Nintendo giving up on their fucking third-party licensing.
Which
Like,
they
just
won't.
let people build shit. Let other companies make games, okay, for you and with your characters. Let's just let that happen. Number 1. Activision and EA also need to stop being so goddamn greedy.
I think
As soon
you're
as
spot on.
those 3 pillars get knocked down, games will be free to play. It'll be loaded with microtransactions, but it'll be mainly cosmetic. There will be games, and it'll be a learning process, right? Much like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, how that was pay to win, right? There will be games that will be released that will be pay to win. But you know what? These are learning experiences. The game developers learn where they fucked up and where they need to improve, and then we'll keep making steps in the better directions. So I truly think you knock down those 3 pillars, and this is achievable.
Well, it's the thing is those pillars, as much as yes, it would be nice to see them knocked down.
It won't
They aren't going to
happen.
be. It won't happen.
Well,
Nintendo.
actually, wait. No,
I
Nintendo
Call
is
of
more likely
Duty,
to
the
do
Call
it.
of Duty side
Well,
could happen.
I
The
think
Nintendo
Nintendo
won't
side
happen.
is never going to happen.
No.
Trust me, I work in a
Nin-
video game store. Nintendo
yeah.
side is never going to fucking happen.
Nintendo is very much like Disney, where they will
They're going
grip
to take it to the fucking
hold.
grave.
They will
I'm-
grip hold onto their IPs to their last remaining breath. Literally, they will never let go of them.
I
How
think
close are we to their last remaining breath? We might be closer,
that's literally exactly what I
Pokemon
was
Could
about
be
to
another
say.
Possible.
Sega.
I think
Could
that
be
we
another
are
Sega situation.
we are one
I
mid.
mean, look at the
No, it won't be one of them.
Activision thing too.
I think we are one mid Nintendo release away from them being like, okay, right, we can't really afford
Yeah.
this anymore.
Because I'm
That's-
sorry,
Buying them
last 2
out.
Pokemon
You think
games, pile of
Microsoft's
shit.
buying them out? Who's buying them
What,
out?
what do you mean?
I
Legends
think-
Arceus was great.
I do think
Microsoft,
it'll be
they already got a
Microsoft.
partnership.
I think,
There's already got a
And
partnership
That's how they get
together.
them on PC at that point.
but
Yeah.
then again, I also think that I think in order for us to progress in a position as to where the next big change in the gaming umbrella of sorts would be is if Nintendo finally realised that, you know, we're not perfect. We don't have the foothold that we used to have. And I
This
think
isn't the
when
1980s anymore.
people like, I don't know, for example, it probably will not happen, but it's a dream of mine. When people like who made the Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
people who worked on that game come together with a game like, I don't know, a Naughty Dog, and they make a game that I incredible. I think the next change in the gaming sphere, the next change
That could be
in
really good at.
in gaming in general is heavily reliant on two companies, and I'll give you the reasons to why I think it's the other
Like
company.
Microsoft.
No, one of them is Nintendo.
Yeah.
100% they need to stop being so mine.
They need to stop being a bunch of
They're
child.
stingy. They're stingy.
Yeah,
is what they are.
and I also think that Sony needs to realise that cross-platform is a thing. You're gonna have to get wise up to
Yeah.
it. You're
Yeah,
gonna
here's
have to
the thing.
understand it.
Sony and Nintendo will never,
No.
ever be partners. They won't, because Sony fucked Nintendo way back when.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
And they
that
like
is
to hold
why-
grudges.
And that is why Nintendo will not drop any of them.
I've said
They
this.
will take them to the grave.
I've
trust
said
me.
this before. Like I will die on this hill, and this is one of the reasons why I think that the best manufacturer for a long time since old school Nintendo is Microsoft, because I'm not being funny with you. Sony has made some absolute.
Yeah.
More of my favourite games of all time have been made from Sony. Last of Us, I love it. Ghost of
That's the only
Tsushima,
reason you have a
I
PlayStation.
love it. God of War, I
Oh,
love it.
100%.
The Marvel stuff, I love them. But if you can honestly put someone from Sony in front of me, right, in a lie detector scenario, and I ask them, do you regret not launching Spider-Man on PC when you launched it with PlayStation? And they say no, they're fucking lying. Because if there's one thing that would have made that game already bigger than it was, is if it was on PlayStation and PC. It only released recently on PC, and I want to see the sales numbers already.
I've got
Yeah.
it.
The most stupidest thing they are doing now is not launching God of War, the new one, on PC. Why? Why, dude? Because God of War came out on PC, it fucking revitalized the game again. Whole new eyes on it.
Buy those PS5s.
I get.
That's why they do it then,
But
because
then-
they can keep it going.
What kills the video game market, though, is video game exclusivity. Let's just fucking cut this
What?
bullshit.
But then I
Honestly.
understand where you're coming from that book. But then using that logic, why do people buy Xbox Series X's? There's no exclusives to that.
Forza.
No.
It's on
Yeah,
it's on
No,
PC.
You can get a PC.
Every
I mean,
single
I mean,
Xbox
those are-
exclusive you can play on PC.
Those are just the fans, right? Like if you're
Yeah.
buying like every, I feel like that's the iteration. You know what I mean? Like if you're buying shoes, like why are you buying, 4 different pairs of Yeezy 350s? You just want the zebra colorway or the belugas. It's the same shoe. I
And
feel
also,
I feel
if
like
you're-
like that.
If you buy an Xbox, like, let's be honest, game consoles are more for people who just want to chill when they come home from work and they just want to play. Whereas PC is a lot more intensive and,
I don't think it's like that anymore. I think that stigma is starting to go away.
well,
yeah.
at least in the sense of, in order to play a game, at least,
see what
like,
he's saying.
let's say you want to play Forza, right? Okay, so you have an Xbox. Xbox costs what, 400? Let's say, like, I'm guessing that's around it,
4-5,
think
that
it's-
sounds about right.
right? So you
I
pay
haven't bought a console in a few years.
500 to play for the Xbox, and you pay like 60 for the Forza. So that's what, coming up to maybe 600.
7
order
at
to-
most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in order to and you're playing those at like a good levels graphics, right?
Mhm.
But if you want to play them on PC, you're going to have to get a PC with the specs in order to play those high graphics that you want.
You can buy budget gaming laptops that'll completely play at the same rate as
but-
a console for about the same price as a console.
But why would you play it
I
on
get-
a laptop
I
when you have a
understand completely
TV?
where Volt's coming from.
Yeah, me too.
I understand completely. There is. It's not even that. There is something so, I don't know, standout-ish about having an actual console.
Mm.
I think if again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think it's looking up and seeing that you have the console is something to be. Yeah, man, I got the fucking new Xbox. I do understand where you're coming from. I do, but I think that it's. I remember the times where I had a laptop which I used for school, RuneScape, World of Warcraft, and that was it. And it run all those 3 stuff exactly how I wanted it to be. I don't think I could do that now with the games that are on the same level as Warcraft. But
No.
now
privileged,
on that same computer now. So I understand exactly where it's coming from. It's like buying a ready-made device to do everything you want it to do with.
Yeah, it's a plug and play, right? It's convenience factor.
But
Yeah,
that's why I don't. Exactly. That's one of the reasons why.
like, I would hate if I went into my living room, and on my TV, whatever size TV people have, I plug in, my controller, my keyboard to my Xbox, and that's how I surf the internet. I would hate that. I
Yeah.
would hate that. The same way that I have, a better gaming setup than I do television, but I'm not over here on my PC watching Netflix.
Exactly.
I'd go to a console before I went to like a Roku or something like that.
Yeah,
if I had
100%.
it,
I
so-
think the one. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think the one proper saving grace for consoles in this generation now is convenience and convenience
Yeah,
sake.
100%.
Because you can plug in a console and have fucking everything on it.
price too. Price
Oh, and
too.
price, 100%.
Mhm.
You're
because
buying.
yeah.
who's getting consoles besides the people who make their own money, right? Kids.
Yeah. Mhm.
Kids aren't. You tell your
Yeah.
parents like, "Oh, I want a PC," and you're 8 years old. Like
Yeah.
unless you're getting like a hand-me-down PC, no parent's gonna be like, "Yeah, let me shell out 1,500 for this when I could literally
Yeah,
shell
My
out
right.
9-year-old's
Yeah.
getting a
for a,
PC for
for a
Christmas.
console." Exactly.
Yeah.
But
You
how?
know?
Okay, how much is this PC costing you?
About 15.
About
Well,
15 for
15
one that
decent,
can,
you
like,
know.
I'd say
No,
15
no,
minimum, probably.
It's 15. It's gonna have a 2070 Ti in it.
Well, your child is very lucky, because I certainly wasn't in that position. I don't think many
Oh,
people
no.
are in
No,
that
Oh,
position.
neither was I.
most parents
Well,
aren't
like
in that
that's-
position.
It wouldn't make
That's
sense,
my thing.
for our parents because they
Bro,
weren't
I had
gamers, but
we
for us,
had a family fucking PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us it makes sense because it's like if we're
Split
when we
between
were
6
kids,
people.
I don't know if you guys got it, but it was like my parents, anytime a new console came out or whatever, it's like they would do whatever they could, to at least get it for me, whether it was brand new or, I had
Yeah.
to wait a week, it was like I could go home right now or to my dad's house, and I could pick up a GameCube, I could pick up a 64, a PS2, a thick PS2, a PS3, stuff like that. But it's like if we had PCs and my parents were gamers, they would know that, okay, instead of every year I'm buying a new console, I could wait every 4 years and get a new processor for the same
Yeah.
price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like if you know what you're buying, I feel like everyone's
Yeah.
buying PCs, but it's like the people who are buying their kids consoles don't know
Don't know
you
what
know,
they're really
they
buying.
don't, they don't
The
exactly,
biggest,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
investment in it and what they
and the
feel like
biggest
that's
issue with
why-
consoles nowadays is the fact that you have to pay for all the online stuff. That's why, personally,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
the
Oh my
best
gosh.
console that was ever made, personally, in my
PS3?
opinion, PS3.
Yeah, I know you can say that.
PS3, no question.
That's
No
why
question.
PS3 had so many security issues, though.
Yeah, because
Opposed to something like Xbox.
yeah. I only
Right?
My
Like
opinion,
Xbox, it
Xbox
sucked.
360. Top tier.
Xbox 360 was top tier peak online performance
Yeah.
because you paid for it, but the only time it ever went down was a Lizard Squad hit. PlayStation, it
Yeah.
went down several times.
Yeah. But the good thing was back then is every time you get a new game, you get like 2 weeks of Xbox Live for free.
Oh, those little cards that they would put in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Dude, I missed those.
Yo, I remember back when I was down on my luck, mans would be like, message to all friends and recent players, your mans is running out of live. I need a 24-hour code. And
Yeah.
just getting bombarded.
I
with
did
them.
that to somebody on Snapchat, and they said I unlocked the memory. I started my message with just the capital M2AF. And they're like, dude,
Yes.
I haven't seen that forever. And I was just like, dude, that was it.
M2AF. Fuck.
M2AF.
like.
you know.
I mean, it's
Message to all friends.
it's just proof that
Wow, that unlocked the memory for me then.
yeah,
That's what I'm
it's
telling
just
you, man.
proof that. I mean, this conversation we're having, this is the proof as to why consoles will live as long as they are going to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because
they're
you
only
will-
going to get
You
better.
will, you know what is a scary thought? You will have people having these exact conversations in the future about
20
the
years from
Xbox
now.
Series X.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be their first console they ever play on. How fucking
Yep.
crazy is that?
It's also crazy when you think
That's
of
fucked.
when you think of
Actually,
then,
like
that's a
they've probably
question. That's a
doubled.
question.
It's incredible.
What's the first console you've played on?
Oh,
N6. No.
console, like not handheld, proper console.
Yeah.
NES,
PS1.
NES, OG NES.
I had the PS1.
And then it was SNES, and then so like my grandmother, she had an NES, and then they got a SNES from a garage sale. So she got a SNES, and then on my 6th birthday, I got an N64.
You know what? Mine's one of three. Can't think which one was first. Mine was either an N64, a SNES, or a Dreamcast.
Mine was N64 because I remember the only game.
Dreamcast.
The
I've
only
still got mine.
game.
Mine still fucking work.
The only game
had
I had on the N64 was Super Mario 64, and I
Who
did
didn't
not.
have that?
I did not play any other game.
I
Or
had the
Mario Kart.
PS1.
Oh,
I had the PS1. I had Final Fantasy VII, and I'm not sure if you remember Micro Machines.
Nah.
not a clue, mate.
Bruh, that
Micro. Wow. Wait a minute. Why is that? Micro.
What about you,
it's
Buck?
like
What was yours?
it was like Hot Wheels, but you're literally like driving on tracks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about.
You're driving on tracks which are like pool tables and shit
What was
like
it?
that.
PS1.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Micro Machines.
What was
think
your
Lucky,
first
what about
console?
yours?
Mine.
Hmm.
I want to
Oh
say.
my
I want to
fucking
say it would have
God.
made sense that it would have been an
Yeah?
Atari because we have one. But the first game that I remember was Duck Hunt. So
Yeah.
was that Super?
Fucking
And
lit.
64.
Was that?
Sorry, and NES,
No,
NES.
yeah, NES.
NES,
So
yeah.
that
Yeah,
would have been it
NES.
because I don't think.
I remember Micro
I
Machines.
don't remember if I
Yeah.
ever played the Atari with my dad or anything. I mean, I would have been like 2, and he would have just handed me a controller. So I don't have like any memory of that. But I do remember Duck Hunt.
So we
Mm.
got
Yeah,
an
Micro
Atari when I was a
Machines
little
V3.
older.
Played.
My dad got an Atari 2600 when I was like 10 or 11, and I remember playing baseball
Yeah.
with that thing. It was so fucking weird. That motherfucker was so janky, bro. So sorry, Allie, you? What was yours?
Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
SNES? Alright,
classic.
cool.
Yeah.
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 I want to sort of we've spent nearly an hour
What
and a
was
half
yours, Lenny?
talking N64.
Oh,
We spent nearly an hour and a half talking about video games. I want to see if we can move on a bit and try
yeah.
and broaden.
Yeah,
Wait,
let's.
can I ask one more video game question?
100%.
Go for it.
Go
Sure.
for it.
Okay. Have you guys ever noticed that we started getting microtransactions in games when we stopped being able to put in cheat codes?
Yeah, because that's what happened, right? That was a transition.
Because I just
once
thought
you-
about that like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, I was today years old when I realized we started getting
Yeah.
microtransactions when we started paying for cheat codes that we used to be able to get for free if we found out it went to
Bro.
GameFAQs.com.
We're paying for cheat codes
Mhm.
essentially
Game
now.
facts.
I
Oh my
never
god, I
thought about
remember
that.
that shit.
I never thought about that until literally right now, and it's just like I've been waiting to ask that question because I didn't think about it till now.
All right, here.
I don't
let's,
like you for
Cheat
that.
codes.
That is fuck.
Well, I was thinking about it when we were talking about games and stuff, and it was just like I remember, the coolest thing was playing
Hey, yo, I
GoldenEye,
still
and I
remember
could go back and
oh.
play paintball mode. And it
Yeah,
was like,
or
wow,
big head mode, bro.
big head mode or any super speed, and it was just kind of like, yeah, we're paying for cheat codes now, and then it's like we
Mhm.
don't even have a cheat codes menu in game anymore. The last one I think was what was it, Black Ops 1, where if you knew what
Yeah.
to do, you got to like a certain screen and then you got to do something. It was like we haven't had cheat codes.
I'm pretty sure you've got
in
cheat codes in
games.
GTA 5 though, in the
Yeah,
campaign.
but
Probably.
it's not listed anywhere.
No.
I think like
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
was. I remember writing
Is it
everything down
bad?
for San Andreas, but we'll move
Yeah.
on.
Is it bad that I still know some San Andreas cheat off by heart?
Been burnt into your
I
mind,
could
hasn't
I could probably list them off.
it?
Yeah.
I think I could if I had a controller in my hand. I could get
the jetpack
a
cheat?
jetpack and $1 million. Those two.
And
The
the
Remember-
jetpack
helicopter.
cheat, I know that shit off by heart.
Remember having to write them all down on
Yeah.
a piece of paper.
I think mine's
I
still.
wrote it in the back of the book.
I think mine's
Yeah.
still in the
Yeah.
back of the case as well.
Yeah.
That's really fucking. That's
Bang, bang,
fucking
bang,
threw
bang.
me about that.
Up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, right. Yeah.
That's
fucking-
crazy. That's fucked. Yeah, we'll see if we can move on. I can't believe that. How we stopped
Mhm.
for microtransactions. That's fucked.
Yeah, bro. What the fuck? man?
That's fucking crazy. Let's try and get
Yeah,
on
let's
a
get it.
deeper one now. So I've got one in front of me.
Deeper one. I don't know.
What was the best year of your life? We'll start with the guest first. You're on the spot. 20
The
seconds.
best year of my life.
Yeah.
Man,
the clock.
Or okay, well,
I'm gonna be that person. I'm gonna be that person that says 2022.
okay. I
I'm
like
gonna be
that.
that person that says every year gets better.
Yeah, definitely.
Literally every. I don't think I've had a year that is just kind of like, oh man, that year was worse than the last year.
That's
Because
nice.
in some aspect, I'm growing, I'm learning more. So it's like my potential to do more is always increasing. So I feel like that's making my year great. I kind of sum things up the way I kind of did with like a diet, where it's like there's calories and everything, but it's like I'm not going to count the calories from vegetables and fruits because those are healthy things. It's like every year, you might have a friend, or you might yourself have a family member that dies, or just life kind of happens. So it's just kind of like I can't incorporate those and be like, oh, this was the year my dog died. This is the year I lost my grandpa. I lost my aunt that year. That was the worst year of my life. Like that shit's just gonna happen. I don't feel like that plays into your actual year. That's just kind of an event that takes place that year.
That
So I
is
think for me, I think for me, yeah, 2022 so far has been, the best year. I've been growing. I have a son, so he's 7.5. So it's like he's doing way more than he's doing at 7.5 than he was at 6.5, than he was at 5.5. But when he was 5.5 and he hadn't hit 6.5, that was the coolest year of my life because he was older than 4.5. So
that
I mean,
is a
I think
wonderful
some
way of looking at it.
I think that's the way that I look at it. So yeah, 2022 for me.
That is
That
incredible.
is like the most wholesome
That is
answer
a
I've
wonderful way of
actually
looking
heard.
at it.
Man,
The thing, I'm not going to lie to you, the second I read that question, I can tell you exactly when it was, and my life's been downhill ever since.
Oh God.
2018. The
Why?
World,
Why?
the World Cup. I will tell you exactly why, bruv. I don't understand if it's the same for you guys, but over here, in this select group of people, that football is everything. You live and die by it, okay?
Okay.
The 28,
That's
the
hockey
20,
here.
the 2018,
up.
2018 World Cup, where
Yeah.
England got the furthest that we had besides winning it.
Yeah.
I was in a pub and I saw Kieran Trippier's free kick go in. My life was
And then we
Oh,
lost to
best ever been in my entire life, ever. And we
then
lost. It's just been downhill ever
Yeah.
since. My life peaked in that
Up
moment.
until the
Sports
Euros.
tragedies, man.
Up until the Euros, yeah.
When we got to the final and lost
got to the final when Luke Shaw scored the goal. My heart
within
was.
2 minutes.
I was back on that rock at the top
Yeah.
of the world. You could throw an army at me, I'd survive. Come out swinging. We lost the game on penalties. Quit my job a couple of weeks after. I ain't lying,
Did
bro.
you
My,
actually? Did you
Yeah,
really?
I left
You
my
was
job
just
a couple of
throwing-
weeks after.
oh,
It
I
wasn't
couldn't do
because
it.
of the sport.
Well, because of that. But it's fallacy, and things have it on. But it's just like outside of that, for very selfish reasons. I know it wasn't a good year for everyone, but for me, 2020,
I was
I
going
was
to say
gonna
that
say the
as
same
well.
thing.
because
Yeah.
I loved the fact that for the I can't even. I might get fucking emotional, man. Fuck. In that year, because everyone was in one place and that was your house.
Yeah.
I tell you, dude, the amount of people I reconnected with, I found out I had family members I never knew I had in that
That's
time.
awesome.
Like it's incredible. Everyone was at
Yeah.
home at the same time. From
It
a
was-
video game aspect with your buddies, time wasn't a
Yeah.
thing. I'm going to
Yeah.
bed. Why?
No, you're not.
I got to be up in the morning. What
What
for?
for?
Like it was just
Exactly.
no excuse. You was
Because in your mind you was like, I got work,
Yeah.
and you was like, why? And then it'd be why?
As much
Call
as
me
it,
up. What for?
as much as
Oh,
it was
yeah.
bad, yeah, as much as it was bad for like the economy and the
Video game
country and
aspect,
everything,
best thing that ever happened.
for it to like completely shut down, for like people's personal aspects, having the country shut down during having the world shut down during 2020 was, I feel like it was like a benefit to so many people's lives to just kind of like stop, to just take a
quickly
break.
to preface as well, like I understand that it wasn't, people are in some very bad relationships and you were stuck with that partner for all the time. I know
Oh,
that.
100%, yeah.
But as I'm saying, for me, like the fact that I knew that, okay,
Oh.
there is this virus going around, which is really bad, but at least I know that my family is safe. Everyone I care for is safe. Everyone I love is
Mhm.
safe. I talk to them every day, and it was, yeah, man, it was incredible.
It was
Yeah.
nice. It was nice to slow down and have days where like you don't, for like 3 months you just didn't have to do anything, and it was nice to have that break from reality where you don't have to worry about anything really.
Mhm. Josh, go on.
All right. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, 2020 for me was both the best and the worst years of my life. Let me start off by saying, yeah, I understand 2020 sucked for a massive majority of people, and that's completely understandable. But there were certain aspects of 2020 that were peak, like straight up best time ever. Like at around that time, I invested fully into the Twitch thing and did that full time every day. Was actually making some money from it. It was doing pretty good. Uh, Destiny content was at an all-time high, IMO. And then like when it started to fall off, I made the transition over to Escape from Tarkov. That game was fucking just starting to blow the fuck up. It was a great game. It was a great time. I got to spend time with a bunch of online friends. On the other side of that, though, I was away from my wife for 6 months because of it, which did suck. And that she was
Yeah.
taking care of her mom during the tail end of her mother's life. So that shit did suck. But also 2020 brought me into fatherhood because I inherited my niece when my mother-in-law passed away, right? So like it's a segment of 2020, a very bad segment of 2020 is sandwiched between two of like the best parts of my life. I was able to do what I wanted to do, actually get a stab at it, and be very, very, very on a very small scale successful at it. Making any form of money on Twitch is, in my opinion, something to be at least a little happy about. People do it for fucking decades and don't get a cent, right? So like even the small amount of money that I did make from it was nice. Showing that if I actually gave this an honest effort and continued at it, I might be able to make something out of it. Um, and then, like I said, the mother-in-law thing, that shit sucked. But then it followed up with the whole fatherhood thing and that aspect of my life and how that has changed me as an individual. So it was all the best and the worst year all at once. So I'm gonna still say that 2020 in IMO best year of my life. Now, I'm
Mm.
not saying that 2021 and 2022, the years following it, have like any decline or anything like that. It's just there was such emotional highs and emotional lows in 2020 that it really made me respect that year as an entirety,
That's when those
opposed to
things
just
started.
coasting as 2021 and
Yeah.
2022 as what I've been doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was such a peak valley peak again that it made me respect that year as a whole.
It was those events that actually started, and that started your process of fatherhood and everything like that. And it's that kind of like almost shock factor
Yeah,
during that time where those events happen that make that year so memorable for you. And it's the
exactly.
years following that gives you the memories afterwards.
Hmm. Exactly.
I like that.
So good on.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Definitely. What
Nice.
about Jack, Ali, Volt, anyone?
I think I've said my one. My one was also 2020, but at the same time, I think 2012 and 2013 were pretty good ones for me as well.
That's cool. That's
Those
cool.
were pretty good.
Ali, want to go?
2014 for me.
2014. Why? Is there anything you want to feel comfortable about sharing about that year?
I graduated high school. I met my best friend online. That she had been like the first friend I made in
Mhm.
the online communities and everything, and I actually met her face to face and went on a trip with her and everything, and so like that was really really cool. So high school, my best friend Lucy, meeting her, and started dating Nick,
Hmm.
and got into college.
Good.
So
Oh, yeah,
Very good.
one thing
Oh.
after another.
yeah.
What about you,
So-
Jack? What was yours?
2017.
Come on, Jackie.
2017 and why?
It all went downhill from there.
Do you mean 2018?
No, 2017.
What happened in 2017, mate?
No, 2017 was a good year.
Oh,
After
Yeah.
2017,
right.
it went downhill.
Yeah, yeah,
Because that's when I met you.
Cheers, man.
I'm
Oh,
joking.
man.
I actually don't know. Best year? Probably the Warzone era.
Oh, yeah, 2020 was incredible.
Yeah, 2020 Warzone era. Where me, you, Chris, and Carl just smashed
Good old
out
days.
Warzone.
Menace is
Pretty
something
much.
else.
In reality, we smashed out Warzone pretty much 15 to 18 hours a day,
Yeah, easily.
7 days a week for about
Oh, you went
6
proper
months.
gremlin mode.
Oh
Bro,
yeah,
it
we
was
did.
incredible.
Oh, bro, we did this for about 6 months.
It was ridiculous. It was incredible.
The grind was real.
Between 15 to 18 hours every single day, because there was fuck all else to do. You weren't allowed to
True.
go outside. We were built for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gamers were built
Bro,
for this.
gamers
Don't
were
worry.
built for fucking.
I feel like
Pandemic
gamers
lockdowns.
took the pandemic lockdown the best out of everybody. to
Bro,
be
it was a
Uh-huh.
normal
completely
day
honest
for me.
with you.
Gamers and introverts. That's literally.
It
Yeah.
was a normal
And
day
I'm
for me.
both, so it worked
Yeah.
out great for me.
It was a normal day for me.
I have one question I want to ask just because I've
Yes.
just come to it before we go on to the rest of it. Mainly focused at the two streamers here. Stream on Twitch, both of yous, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're forever hearing things about. Yeah, obviously, it's dependent on if you feel comfortable enough with saying it.
Oh, the titty stream.
Forever hear. I'll get into that. We forever hear about things
I'll be right
that
back.
okay, that are like injustice towards them, right? Not even like okay, it's worded horribly. How if there was one thing as a platform on Twitch would you change, and what would it be? Because we're forever hearing about the negative stuff of it, like oh, okay, well for example, fuck it, I started streaming and my dick fell out my trousers, I got banned.
Oh.
Okay, forever.
Oh.
I don't know, some famous female streamer started streaming, titties popped out a shirt, warning. I say something slightly on the cusp of edgy, ban. Some streamer goes on a rant about it's happened before, warning.
Genocide.
If there was one
Genocide of a
thing
certain-
that you could change about the platform that you are on, not even to make your life better, just as a general, it could be. What would it be and why?
Buck, you want to start this, or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think that kind of like what you were talking about, with the, the dick falls out, you get banned, tits fall out, you get a warning type thing. I think there should be more say in what's appropriate determined by the streamer and their streams. I think there needs to be more control. I don't think it should be the whole platform should ban somebody because somebody went into somebody's chat, and let's just go off, the worst end, right? Or whatever. I'm a very non-racist person. I've never been racist. I don't even think I've ever known anybody who is racist. But if there was a racist streamer and he was just preaching nothing but, racism and just saying the worst things, and people were in that chat agreeing with him, I
Just
feel
don't
like
click it.
I would, yeah, exactly. I don't feel like that person should necessarily be banned, even though I don't agree with anything they're saying. Probably, even if that person says they like pizza, pizza's my favorite food, I'm probably still going to disagree with them and shit. But I don't feel like Twitch should ban him. I feel like if that person goes in there and goes to report him, then it's like, okay, then we're gonna keep you away from these type of streams. We're not gonna put these type of people in your recommended.
So
Exactly.
do you think then, elaborating on that question? Do you think instead of specific streamers that get banned, it's the viewer that gets banned from watching them?
I wouldn't say banned from
I wouldn't
watching
say-
them.
I
I think
wouldn't- I
it'd be
wouldn't say
more or
banned.
less
Discouraged.
like a filtering system, right?
Yeah.
Like you say
Yeah.
what you don't like from that, why you don't like his content,
Yeah.
and then Twitch would filter
Just
you
like how
away from that
restaurants were
form
in
of
the
content.
90s. If you want a steak place where you can eat with your family, you go to this one. If you want to go to
Mhm.
this one where you don't mind if everyone's smoking inside, you go to the one where you could smoke inside.
Exactly.
And I feel like that shouldn't be up to the town to be like, no, there's no smoking in restaurants. It should be up to the owner that says,
Yeah,
no, I don't care if
exactly.
people smoke in my restaurants, let them smoke. Whoever wants
Just
the
like
most smoke,
vape
go to the most
stores.
smoke. Whoever doesn't want smoke, go to McDonald's. I
Legit.
feel like it should be like that in Twitch streams.
No, honestly.
Because it's like I'll have people come through mine and it's just kind of like, oh man, it'd be, I feel like easier for some people if they were just able to set like a little slider bar, so people kind of know what's going on. You don't feel awkward. Like, okay, the dark level humor of this stream is at a 7. We don't really say anything too crazy, but like, if your feelings are going to get hurt by anything that's going to be, dark humor slider level 3, you're probably not going to enjoy your time here. You know what I mean? Something,
Exactly.
something like that, where it's not just kind of like, because it's like you might enjoy something, and this might just me being, super anxiety, super paranoia, a little bit of a Pisces, but it's like I'm always overthinking. So it's like somebody says something and I think it's funny, right? Now, does me being funny for everybody watching, does that change the opinion of somebody else who's watching who might not have thought that was funny? Does now me laughing at that because I think like, oh shit, I've lived through some shit. To me, that's a funny scenario, But then for somebody else who might have been like, oh, I don't think that was funny, but oh, okay, Buck thinks it's funny. Now that might be a funny thing, versus other people who would be like, oh, I really liked watching this guy, but he thinks that's funny. Now I got this horrible taste in my mouth because I can't believe he thinks something like that's so funny.
No,
And it's
yeah.
just kind of like having to bite your tongue live, is in so many situations things that I think that we should, get away from. You should either just,
So true.
say
You
whatever
should be
you
able to
want
be
to.
your personification. You
Yeah,
shouldn't
like
have
you're
to
either
put on a
gonna,
persona for Twitch.
that's it. Like you're gonna be correct or wrong, regardless in what you say to whoever's watching you. So I mean, the fact that if there's anything that's going to take away from your own authenticity, whether it's evil, corrupt, accurate, and true, that should be on you and the people who are watching you individually rather than the platform. Now, granted, the platform does take a huge responsibility, and when they're getting looked at as a whole, they're themselves, they're worth money, they're looked at as an organization. So if these type of people are trying to do essentially what we're doing with our streamers, we're trying to present this image, we're trying to sell ourselves as a product. If they were trying to sell themselves, there's a bigger product there. They have all of us as their product. They're not going to be able to sell themselves to a triple thousand quintillionaire, millionaire, or whatever, who's going to look at potentially buying the company if they're all okay with us just saying whatever we want. 2012 ended up just wild, and versus okay, now they're not going to make so much money because they got to be cookie cutter. So I mean, it's I don't know how we'd fix that, but something along those lines. That's what I
I
would
do
change. Sorry to
agree.
take an hour.
That's a
Nah, you're good, dude.
That's a
Like,
very,
That's a
No,
good one.
that's a
very,
very valid
very
point.
good point.
I
A very
basically
valid
agree with
fucking point.
everything you say. The
Yeah,
one thing I
100%.
want to say is the one thing I'm sick of when it comes to the Twitch community is all the little zero viewer people complaining about Twitch streamers and shit like that. Motherfucker, those Twitch streamers ain't taken away from your viewership. You were never getting viewers to begin with. Just because they're success, don't hate on them. All right, it's their game.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like anybody who hated on fucking Dr. Disrespect, Ninja, all the you're just hating on them because they're huge and they're successful and you're not. There's no reason to sit there and gripe and piss and moan. If you want it, grind and try your ass to get it. Nothing in this life is handed out. So what makes you think that you're automatically gonna get all these viewers just because some girl ain't streaming on Twitch hot tub fucking bullshit anymore? No, that ain't how
You
this is
gotta,
gonna work.
yeah, you
You've
gotta kind
gotta
of
earn
find your
this shit.
gimmick. Yeah, and you gotta find your own kind of like individuality on Twitch as well, because you see a lot of these people just kind of like a lot of the streamers. They seem kind of like they're just playing the game. They're not really doing much. Sure, they might be interacting with the chat, but they don't seem individual. They don't seem very kind of like unique in
It's
that way.
impossible nowadays because everybody has to
Exactly.
follow the same cookie cutter Twitch bullshit that Bucky was talking about.
Yep.
Like you aren't
Yeah.
allowed to be your own person anymore
There's
because the
one.
moderation is so bad.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
this one guy that's like pretty out there in like um so obviously a lot of the streams I watch are Destiny 2 streams, but there's this one guy that dresses up as a pilot and has like the cockpit background in his stream, and it's unique, and it's just like there's something about it that makes you more engaged.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
you look at it and you're like, hold on a minute, what's this? And you click on it,
Yeah.
and boom, they've
The
got a
thing
viewer.
with Twitch is that you've got to stand out from everyone else.
Yeah.
The thing that
Precisely.
okay, I'm getting so many questions just bombarding to me now that come into my head because I've got the opportunity to actually ask people now.
Hmm.
Just quick on it, Josh. Is there anything that you'd change, or is it more the same what he's said?
No, Bucky basically
Could
hit
I,
it
could I
exactly
add
nail on the
something?
head.
Sure,
Go
go
for
ahead.
I would
Something real
I would
quick?
change one thing, even though I'm not a streamer.
Oh,
What's that?
we'll get to the viewing experience. We'll
Yeah.
we'll let Bucky go. Bucky, you head up first.
The culture behind streaming. I would change that more than anything, dude. The fact that in order for people to get ahead, I don't want to say everybody, right? But I want to say 90%, right? And everyone's watching their favorite streamers and stuff is one, you get ahead by clearly not acknowledging the people you're getting ideas from, which I think is absolutely terrible. That happens way too much. The second one is people have this horrible tendency, and it's a trend, and I don't know who started it, but apparently the more viewers you get in your stream means the more people you get to rightfully ignore because you've made it. That
Bruv,
needs to change.
definitely.
You know, for real. You know, and I
Just
consider
because
that
they don't
part
have
of
a
the
sub badge by their name, don't mean you don't get to interact with them.
Out
you know,
means nothing.
exactly. I think that viewership and stuff needs to be changed. I mean, that's going to be a hard thing to change because people like what they like, but I think there needs to be more of an emphasis for better gamers than worse gamers who are better looking. Because at the end of the day, you know, people like these people because, you know, 90% of them are gaming, right? I mean, obviously you have like your IRL streamers and stuff like that, but there's no way in my mind that looks should ever top talent. And if you're one of the best gamers in the world, you know, but you just have a mother could only love face, you should get more viewers than, Tiffany
Amaranth?
Tatas. Yeah, you know, something. You know. Now if Amaranth was good at a game or whatever, like, yeah, let Shorty shine. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
But I don't see her being, Supersonic Legend in Rocket League, anything crazy. You
Now,
know what
there's
I
one
mean?
thing I'd like to interject is that eh, you've also got to account for personality as well.
I
The
think that's
personality of the
under the
person.
same
Yeah, that
under the
too. That
same.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
under the same
Yeah.
yeah,
thing.
that too. You know, where it is. It's like there's got to be something more than just looks.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, 100%.
You know, it's like, I don't know, like what would you do? It's like Twitch. Would you like, okay, listen, you've streamed this many hours under Call of Duty, but 90% of your viewers is because of cosmetic. We'll let you play Call of Duty on stream, but you can't stream it under Call of Duty's tab.
Mm.
Like would I feel like that should be something. Like, you know how whenever you look at your Twitch analytics, you know, it tells you where all of your people came from. They came
Yeah.
from this person's streamer. You got, because of social media engagements. It
Or
should be like
because
that.
of
If
your
you're
notifications, shit like
yeah,
that.
you know, like
Mm.
if 80% of your Twitch stream viewers came from your Patreon account, streaming the just chatting. You shouldn't be, you shouldn't be allowed to take up a spot from somebody who's grinding one game because that game is their craft, just because, your breasts are bigger, you got a nicer smile,
Or just because it's
you have
on in the
whatever in your
background and you're not
background.
actually playing.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. I think I would like that to change.
Again, I think you've hit the nail on the fucking head there, both of them. You said something about viewing experience, Volt. I guess if that would be the case.
Well, it wasn't necessarily viewing experience, but I
Okay.
know from a fact that like the actual payout for streamers on Twitch is a huge issue as well.
We're getting into a position where that's probably one of my next questions I was going to ask, without being too intrusive. If obviously there are people that make the money off this, I think there's.
And get your fucking cake, bro. I'm about it. Get your money.
Do you think that as a company, do you think that there is less support for people who are trying to make this the be all end all than someone who has migrated from a different platform and is continuing to make this their be all end all? They've got the mansion, they've got everything. Do you think there is little support for the guys who are trying to make it, like yourselves? You said both the times that well, Josh definitely, that you it's something you're both interested in. Do you think that there is little? Oh, I mean, do you think there's less support for people who are in your sort of pool?
Given
I'm guessing.
given everything I just said, I think I still have to answer no. I don't think there's smaller support. I think
No, there's definitely not.
I think it's an equal amount of support. If people just kind of boost up and shoot up on Twitch, I'm gonna say 90% of the time it's because they put in the work somewhere else. And I feel like wherever that work comes from, that's still their
That's your
work.
grind.
So what?
They put hella hours on YouTube grinding videos, and then they move over to Twitch, and now they're I mean, like,
Or
they're
alternatively,
gonna get put in those algorithms where they have higher viewers. They're gonna get put at the top of those pages, but they didn't just
or
do it just randomly. They were
yeah,
Yeah.
or alternatively, there is also that segment of those who have risen to the top due to other people taking clips from their streams, uploading on YouTube, without them knowing,
Mhm.
without their consent or whatever, and those videos have gotten so viral, and then everyone
It's how
visits the
Sweet Anita
stream.
blew up.
Exactly. So technically, they didn't really put the effort into getting those views. It was someone else who took those clips, put them online, and then inadvertently they got the views from that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
But they also had to put in the work to create that clip, even if they didn't
Yeah.
know it was a clippable moment.
True,
They were still live. They were still
Yeah.
they
but
were
without
putting themselves in
still
a
Yeah.
position to be clipped.
well, without that person to clip them and put it on YouTube at the same time, they probably wouldn't have,
But the
gotten.
person that uploaded it probably
Mhm.
made money from it anyway.
I want
Yeah,
to
true.
I want to continue down this line of questioning because
So
it's
it doesn't
the
really matter.
prime perfect opportunity. We're in a position where we've got two streamers where we can ask these sort of questions.
Mhm.
I've got a couple more, and then we'll see where we are if you want me to
One
shut up.
old one.
If you want me to
Yeah,
shut up
okay.
or not. I
I got
guess
one.
I'll leave the one that I want. Some serious. Not that you haven't been thinking about it. Some serious thought into. My main question is now is I'm not gonna know. Fuck it, I'm gonna. You see people like iShowSpeed, for example, if you know who that is.
I think I've heard of him just like recently, like
You
yesterday, the day before.
Yeah. You have him who have got famous, I guess is the word, right? Off.
Viral.
I'm not being funny with you or nothing. He's not that type of person when you get him one to one. He's not screaming in your face. He's not
Oh,
shouting
characters.
everything.
Characters, yeah.
Do you think that there's more and more representative now? It could feed into the question that you asked actually. Do you think that there's more and more? What do you think is a ratio? Do you think getting on successfully in this line of business, luck or hard work, or in between? What would you say is a ratio percentage of it?
fuck, man, that's actually so difficult because some of the biggest streamers are people like Shroud, who aren't the most prettiest looking, but they fucking grinded their ass off and got to where they are. Same with like Ninja and shit like that. But then you've also got personas like Dr. Disrespect, who's been on this grind for over 11 years. I remember when that motherfucker was uploading YouTube shorts before there were YouTube shorts on YouTube, before Machinima was even a thing. Doing these stupid little fucking black and white filmed shit of him in the old Dr. Disrespect get up talking shit on like Only Use Me Blade and stuff like that. Fuck. What was the question again? I lost. I lost where I was going.
Luck,
what
luck or
percentage do
hard
you
work?
think it falls
Oh
under? Is
yeah,
it luck
hard
or hard
work
work?
or so like. But then you also go to the other end of it, right? Where a good chunk of the biggest streamers out there are just like hot tub streamers and shit like that. Like I'm not gonna throw names out there, but we all know who we're thinking of.
Just
She
chatting and all
invested.
that.
Yeah, right. So like you've got them who are only there because they're a piece of eye candy. I hate to say it, but like that's literally it. You've got fucking 12-year-olds just willing to throw their mother's credit cards at you. And then you've got the people who've grinded and got there. I think it's more split down the middle than you most people, especially just on a viewer base, want to believe, because I think that the gaming community as a whole do put the respect and effort into people who have succeeded just because of their game skill alone. There's this one guy, his name is, there's two guys actually specifically that come to mind, Landmark and Pastelli. They're both Escape from Tarkov streamers. So Landmark, this guy started off about 2 years ago playing Tarkov. He was god awful, streamed himself every day, 12 hours a day, slowly grinded his way up to becoming the actual. He became the actual best goddamn Tarkov player in the world. He has the most PMC kills, the most scav kills. He can go in there with a goddamn pistol and completely wreck fucking house, get out there with all the kinds of loot that he needs or wants, and leave whatever for fucking scabs. No big deal. You got to watch this guy progress, and now he is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. He got last year or 2 years ago, I think. Last year he got offered a contract through Twitch, so now he's able to stream full time, not have to worry about subs and donos and shit like that anymore. I think that the gaming community does put respect on skill over looks. I think it's the children on Twitch that are more so throwing their mom and dad's credit cards at the the the, the
The
eye
eye
candy.
candy.
Yeah.
Okay. When I said looks, I didn't mean looks. I meant look as in lucky.
Like
Luck.
they got lucky.
Like they
Luck.
got lucky.
Oh,
Saying
luck.
luck.
Sorry.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
Like he's
Well,
asking whether or not
what
it's
we'll-
luck or skill to get there.
What we'll do is
He's saying no.
we'll give you.
it's a bit of both though.
But what? Yeah, yeah.
Same
That's
thing.
fine. We will revisit it for you. Buck. Now that I've explained it, my shitty English accent has been.
Yeah, I was gonna
put
say
into
the
it.
issue here, Volt, is not the question.
we
It's
think
the British accent.
ratio wise, do we think
Ratio.
it's? Do we think
Luck?
it's a case between? Is it more luck, as in 4-leaf clover luck, or do you think it's dedication, hard work to hone craft? What do you think is more? What do you think? Yeah, what do you think is the recipe for longevity? Do you think it's more luck or hard work?
See, well, I think you said part of it right there when you mentioned longevity. First of all, it depends what game are we playing. Are we playing the game where you want to get temporarily, legend status? Or are we playing for legacy? Depending on what we're playing, I think the rules change.
Mm.
If you're
Fair
trying
point.
to, if you're just trying to, come up really quick or whatever, anything that you can do that you could see all these people are doing and it's kind of working for them, luck is gonna help you.
All
in the short run,
Guys was a
all the
perfect
time.
example. Fortnite when it was hopping,
Mhm.
that was a perfect example. You've seen everybody who's even
Mhm.
nobody's hopping on those games, doing it just to try and get some clout.
So I think temporarily short term, I think luck is going to win. I think for longevity and long term, I think it's going to be like your hard
Your
work and your skill.
dedication.
That's gonna end up
Yeah.
shining off. And I
I've
also want to say that I think it kind of coexists because
Mm.
you get the people who've been playing
Mm.
games that are unpopular for years, right? Now they haven't been going anywhere, right? They've just been streaming. They probably got their casual audience, but they're the best game in I don't even know. Let's just make up a game. Helicopter Fighter 8. They've been the best Helicopter Fighter 8 players for years. Nobody knows who they are. But now all
Yeah.
of a sudden, Tifu wants to play Helicopter 8. Well, now everybody knows who the greatest player is. And now, because of this guy's hard work and dedication and a little bit of luck from bigger streamers now playing this game, this person is now where he's at.
So I
I
feel
think
like
across the board, it could be all three.
yeah, I feel like
Longevity
you're
wise and,
yeah.
legacy.
I feel like in a nutshell, it's luck to begin that boost of
Yeah.
getting there, and then
That short term.
once you've hit that pinnacle of, oh yeah, okay, I'm getting these people coming in and they're watching me. Now I need to put the hard work in to make sure I maintain that and keep them here.
Yeah, YouTube used to be the same way. Like back in the day, back in the old school YouTube days, right? Like you could get a shout out from a fucking old like Woody's gamer tag, White Boy 7 shit. You could get shout outs from those guys for basically
Woody's
nothing.
gamer tag.
Right?
Mhm.
You get a shout out from them. It's not necessarily the videos that you made that have got you there, but now that you've got this boost in viewership, now you know your best content has to be coming out, and you got to
That's
be one upping yourself every week
yeah.
afterwards.
That's how Jacksepticeye made it. Like he initially, the way he came out, he initially got the shout out from PewDiePie, and the moment he got that shout out, he was like, right, dedication, hard work. Let's like
He was
it,
in there dialed in.
it wasn't
That's the
immediate.
thing, right?
Yeah, it wasn't immediate that he got all these, 14 million subs or how many he's got. It was the dedication and hard work that he's made, done over these past 10 years that he's been doing it, that he's managed to build up this community. So it's that initial burst from the shout out, and then as soon as that happens, boom, you have to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. That's like Buck said. That's how you succeed longevity wise, opposed to just a short term boost, getting a little bag. Meanwhile, you could stretch that bag out over decades if you're smart with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the whole chicken and the egg thing. How did that person get lucky because somebody saw their clip? Well, because that person blew up. How did that person blow up? Was he good at the game, or did somebody see that
Exactly.
guy's clip? Oh well, how did you know what I mean? Like
It's a never ending
where did
circle.
it all start? If you got lucky that somebody saw your clip. Well, was it because that guy got lucky, or was it because that guy put in the hard work to become where he was that now gave you, that luck? But that was really hard work that made that luck for you.
Mm.
So it's
And I'm also a big believer in you make your own luck, right? So
absolutely, absolutely.
like the grind, like you could say it's lucky, but if you're grinding it every day, putting in that work, it's
Yeah.
inevitable in all honesty.
Mhm.
Right? It's either
Yeah.
that or you're fucking insane, because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So
Mhm.
it's either you are completely dedicated to your craft or you're insane. It's just you
Yeah.
got to look at it in one way.
And
You
there's
got
a
to look
fine
at it the
line
right
between
way. Right?
Mm.
So like I feel like the dedication is majority of what helps you. I think you do
Yeah.
make your own luck in certain aspects because of that very reason.
You put your
Mhm.
name on a coin, you throw it in the well, and you have one coin in the well. It's going to be really lucky if that first time you put in a coin, somebody draws your coin with your name and you get all the coins in the well. But a
Mhm.
year goes by, now you have 365 coins in the well. You still put
Yeah.
in the work to get that, but if somebody grabs your coin, that's still pretty lucky.
Exactly.
You're the one who put those coins in, though. So
Mhm.
I
I think
think
it's just kind of
the
all over the board, depending on the game that you're playing.
yeah, no, the answer to that is incredible. It really is. It's
This has been a very good show.
it has. I've really enjoyed it. I've got a couple more
All right.
questions just to wind down. I guess it's more of a case of I don't know, just sort of the cool down questions, general sort of questions around Twitch. What do you think at the moment in this current state of Twitch, without looking at it too politically? What do you think is the best way to grow a community? Do you think it's a community where you put your focus into multiple trees, get fruits growing in multiple baskets? Do you think it's a case of that you find one group of people and
So
let the wildfire
here,
overtake? Or
Ali, the reason I even met Ali is because I grew a decent sized community. So the way I feel you grow a community and have a healthy community is three things. One, you need good moderation, right? And it needs to, so that's number one, because like as soon as you have the right kind of people, you need people to be there to make sure that everybody's in line and following somewhat of a rule structure, because if not, it becomes chaos, right? That's just kind of
Sick
how
Twitch
this
etiquette.
develops into. Yeah. Um, then number two, I feel like to build the community to start off with, it needs to be based off of your genuine persona. It can't be based off of some character bullshit. You have to be genuine with what you're preaching, because if you're not, and then you get into a VC with someone and you show them your true self, then they're gonna try and out you and shit like that. It doesn't make sense, right? Be as genuine as you can from the get go. And the other thing is helping your community, like overall, right? So like the way I built up my Destiny 2 small little tight knit community was I would do raid carries, I would do nightfall carries, I would do secret mission carries, I would do all of this shit, helping the community as a whole, not wanting anything in return. I'd just be like, hey, hop in my Discord server. We rip here and this is what we do. So if you're ever interested, you can stay here. If not, don't worry, you can leave. You're free to go. Right? So I think helping the overall community in the game you're specifically playing. So in my instance, it was Destiny 2. I would take people, help them run through their very first raids. I have hundreds of Sherpas on my raid report and shit like that. Hundreds of clears through 0 hour and Whisper, all that stuff, because like I just wanted to help the community. I felt like everybody deserved to be able to do any of the end game content. All you just needed to do was hop in and be cool with playing with some pretty chill people, you know?
that's good.
I feel like those three things help make a community
Bless
and
you.
help keep a community strong and
Thank you.
thriving.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's yeah. Buck, over to you, mate. What's your opinion on that one?
Man. So what was the question? What's the best way to grow?
Yeah.
Twitch,
What do you think
Twitch community?
the best? It's your community in general, but obviously in your line of
Would be Twitch, right?
preference, it would be Twitch.
Man, I mean, again, I hate to be the guy that's always splitting the questions in half, right?
Let's
But
go.
it's,
Let's go.
it depends what you're playing for. Are you streaming because you're doing this to make the most amount of money because you have to play that a certain way?
What
Are
are
you
you
streaming
doing it for? That's the best way to go from it.
For me, what my personal best way, I think for me, it's just being authentic.
You have
Like it
to
was
be.
already, it was just being authentic. Because then that's where you truly get the people. I've never been. I was telling somebody this the other day. They were asking me or something. I always get these people that are like, man, I don't understand. Like your stream should be way bigger than they are. Like why don't you have like more people? Like I come through,
So
your
true.
vibes are great. You read everything in chat. You're doing everything. Like why don't you have more people? And I've never been that type of person. There was this quote that I heard back in the Xbox 360 days. It was on somebody's bio, and I've lived by it every single day. And it was, "Don't count the numbers, make the numbers count." And ever since I heard that, I was like,
Oh,
that's it.
that's nice.
That's the one. Yeah, no,
Mm.
absolutely, that was the one.
And that applies
And
for so many things.
that's it. That's it. Shout out my
Don't
boy
count the
FDG
numbers, make the
if he
numbers
ever
count.
sees that. That was
Oh,
his gamer tag. But yeah. So I've always been one of that where it's like it's like I wouldn't want there to be 1,000 people in the chat. I mean, obviously, if 1,000 people subbed or whatever, that'd be really cool and I'd appreciate it. But you know what I mean? I also see just how easy it is for people to lose sight of that, and then to just be like, oh, okay, these people are paying. I need to engage with these people now as a term of, if I don't, I'm not going to get 1,000 subs. My lack of engagement might only make me 800 to 500, or 300. And I don't ever want that to be the focus, rather than, it's like I tell people, all the time, it's like they'll come in and they'll sub. And it's just like, my first question is just why? Like, why are you doing this? Because it's like, if
Mm.
there'll be some times where it's like, I'll be live for 5 minutes and I might have a homie just come through and be like, here's 10 gifted. And it's just kind of like what,
Like,
why,
you don't
like
feel
I
it. Don't feel
appreciate it.
earned.
Like exactly, like I've always, like I've said this on my stream before, but it's like if somebody gives me $10, I want that $10 to be because I did $15 to $20 worth of work. I don't want anybody giving me $10 because I've done $5 worth of work. I've never been that person. I'm also the same person though that if I do $10 worth of work or whatever, don't give me 8. I don't want 8. I want 10.
Do you
I don't
think?
want 12. So
Do you think that again on the level? Do you think that has something to do with the fact that again, this is the first time I'm speaking to you. Do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
it has something to do with the fact that you can't see how you're being portrayed to others? Because he might have hopped in, you might have said something, and he's gone, fucking incredible. And now he wants to, really perform it through. So do you think that it would be a case if you can't understand why it's happening to you? Do you think it's more of a case of that because you can't be in there? Well, it'd be impossible to be in their shoes, right?
I mean, see, man, sometimes I feel like whenever I talk about myself, it comes off like I'm bragging or something like that.
Nah,
And
you
it's
good,
like,
Ah.
my guy.
I don't ever want it to come off like that. I
No, you seem
feel,
really humble.
I feel like I'm very, and I don't want to say I feel like I am, like I know that I am because I've done it and I've made sure that I've done it, but I've made sure that I'm very, very aware of myself.
Mm.
That way I don't like to guess why things are happening to me. I like to know things.
That's a no.
I like a lot of the things that happen that people would be like, oh wow, that's random. I want to be like, no, listen, I could, if I went back and I recalculated my last year, my last month, I could show you and put everything that had happened on paper and show you why this lined up like that.
Mm-hmm.
I very much like that. So when things happen to me, I I I generally know why they happen. Like I know why, so and so came through and dropped, 20 subs. I know why that happened to me, but why did that happen for them? Why were they the person that came in and dropped 10?
Mm-hmm.
I know
Mm.
I understand why I got 10.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm putting in the work, but why did you feel like you had to be the person to give me that 10?
Mm.
I like to make sure they know why, because I'm comfortable with myself. Whether I make $1, I make $100. I'm the same person.
Mm.
Nothing's gonna change me. Like I said, I don't count the money. I make the money count.
Mm-hmm.
$100 is just more opportunities, and the more opportunities, that's more time you get to count things, and you get to make things count and stuff like that. But it's like I wanna know from that person, like, why did you do this? Did you feel like, oh shoot, I've been friends with this guy forever. I've been watching his streams. We've been really good friends. I owe it to him? Because if that's the case, you don't owe me a thing. We're just friends, and we're just cool because
You
I'd be
just
cool with you
vibing.
if you were free.
Yeah.
There's this rapper who passed away, long live LA, and one of his lines in his rap songs was, "If he can't break bread, he's fake." I had one more buck on my plate. It was me and bro. We was at the store. Both of us got 50-cent cakes. So it's like I've always, I've been like that, where it's like you don't owe me anything. If I have it, you got it too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why is that the reason you're doing this? Is because it's like, oh man, it's like I have 10. I also tell people, when they subscribe, don't subscribe unless you're going to watch me as much as you would Hulu or Netflix. You're paying for those things because you're watching them. Don't just be like, oh man, you came through my stream and gave me a sub. I have to return and give you a sub. That is so fake. And I'm tired of that. People get
is.
so mad. I had a whole group of friends that I was really cool with, and everything just kind of boiled down to this, like, they're not reciprocating energy. And it drove me crazy because I couldn't drive this point through people's minds that if you're operating in accordance with people, based on, interactions that's give and go and take and stuff, you're not reciprocating energy, you're trading energy. There's a huge difference between reciprocating and trading. If you're only doing things because you want people to do things for you, that is trading. You are trading your energy. You're giving them a sub because they gave you a sub. Now, if you're going to sub to me and I don't sub to you, that's you're reciprocating energy, and that's how you do it. Some people do that. Some people, you have the people who, in real life, they might shower you with gifts, because they don't know how to say, I love you. You have the people who, they might not be rich, they might not be able to buy you gifts, but what are they going to do? They're going to give you their time. You have people who pay you in time. You have all these different ways that you can reciprocate things. Now, the people who get these gifts, they're not, some of them are, but not everybody does these things with the hopes that I'm going to do this and get a gift. Or if I do this for someone, they're going to spend time with me. For the people that just do this, just naturally, it's, I feel like, on a different, like, wavelength type thing, like that's the way energy should be, transferred and everything like that, so kind of lost what I was even talking about.
Nah, my
No,
man,
Circled
you
back
bro,
hit
around
it.
here
mate,
for a minute.
I think
hit the nail.
you've explained
Damn.
everything
Yeah.
and more. That's incredible. I really, really liked the way that you described the energy breakdown there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Really,
is.
really liked it.
I've seen so many good
It's so
friendships
true.
just tear apart because it's like, oh, so and so had 35 streamers and they knew that I was streaming, but they rated this other person. And they're like, well, I only rated them because you've never rated me. And it's just kind of like, y'all are not transferring energy. Y'all are trading
Yeah.
this. And it's just kind of like,
Exactly.
if you're surrounded by a bunch of people who are only trading energy, my best advice for you is get out of that circle.
This
Get out
shit
of that.
ain't
Shit,
this
Get
shit
out of
man.
it.
ain't an eye for an eye.
I could
You know,
name
that's it,
I
that's
could
it.
name a few right
Absolutely.
now, but
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
That is
It's
I know
just like,
exactly what you're thinking about as well.
so for me, I guess remembering what the question was, for me, it's just being genuine.
that is
I'd
fucking
rather
mind blowing.
just have, 5 to 10 people in the chat. I don't need it hectic. I don't need, anybody who's, taking the time out of their day, first of all, to just come and watch me do what I spend my time on. Like, that's a whole lot of time being taken up. I don't want to waste that. You're coming in, you're not doing something that you could have been doing, so you could come and interact with me. I don't need 45 people in there, so I miss your comment because now your time has just been wasted. And if I'm doing something and I don't have enough time to read everybody's comment, well, then I'm not doing something right. Something needs to be happening so everybody who's putting in time gets something for their time. So I think it's organically and authentic is the way to do it. For me, I think the best way to do it, in terms of money, is you just have to play the Twitch game, which unfortunately is that culture I wish I could change, where you got to be fake. You want 65 viewers or whatever. What do you do with your 35 viewers? You host somebody who has 80.
Yep.
That's what you do. And then that person remembers you. And then because that you just did that, you have just now displayed a positive action towards another individual in front of an audience of now 100 plus. If that person doesn't then reciprocate that energy and give it back, they're going to look a certain way. So of course that
Yep.
person's going to be like, yeah, I'll raid you tomorrow. Now, next thing you know, guess what? Your average views went from 30 something and now you probably have 60 to 70. You got to play that game. You might not even, fuck with that person. You fuck with their numbers. You're counting the numbers. You're not making the numbers count. It's, it's one way or the other.
Mate, you are fucking incredible. You've explained literally in the most fucking poignant and memorable fucking way. It's fucking mind blowing. That energy thing, I think, can be,
You see why the single dad streams did so well. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's what
Yeah,
it was.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
see
it
why I
was,
did just
It's-
I did stop
Damn.
and fuck around and then dip.
it's
hung
fucking
around
it's
for a
it's
reason.
incredible because the thing that really stuck with me throughout the whole conversation is you weren't just giving examples of how to be in the Twitch hive mind. You've mentioned plenty of fucking things where it can be representative of
Just life in general.
offline relationships and just life in general. So that is fucking incredible. Genuinely, mate.
Thank you.
It's
Man, thank you.
fucking incredible listening to you. It's been a
Hearing your
fucking
views. Sorry.
Yeah, please, mate, go on.
So I was just curious, hearing your views on like interaction in like Twitch communities and like especially in like during your streams and everything. I'd like to get your opinion, just like it can just be like a one line or two lines, whatever. Just your opinion on like
That's difficult for
lurkers.
me. Only 1 or 2 lines. Oh man, that's tough.
Just your opinion on like lurkers, people who just like come into your stream just to help boost your number.
That's a question.
But I'm just like, for me personally, if I was a streamer, there's the good side and bad side of it. Where okay, you're helping me out by giving me a number, but you're not helping me, as in you're not helping me grow my community because you're not interacting with me. You know, there's that double-edged coin. There's a double-edged sword, sorry, of like you're helping, but you're not helping at the same time.
Okay, I get it. You ever heard the phrase "actions speak, stronger than words"?
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, you'll have your friends that are like, "Yo, listen, man, I'm gonna come by. I know you need some gas money. I'm gonna hit you with $10," and you're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then they come through and they give you $10 for gas money, right? That's dope.
Mm.
Then you have the other friends that say, "Hey, listen, man, I'll give you $10 in gas money," but then they never come through, right? So everybody thinks, that's it.
Well, they
You either
expect you to
you're
pay it back in like a day or two when you're down
Mhm.
on your luck.
See, and this is the thing is people think about those two, and you either got the friends that do or don't, right? But there's a third category that nobody even talks about, and every time I bring it up to people, they're like, "Oh shit, that's true." We've mentioned two groups of people: the people who offer and the people who do, and then we have the people who offer. There's another group of people who don't even offer. They don't even tell you they're going to give you $10, even if they know they don't have it. So I feel like for the people lurking, they're still giving you that lurk. They might not be able to support, necessarily how we need them to or how we could benefit the most off of them, but
Mm.
they're still doing what they can to support. I know
Mm.
people, especially in situations, I don't know. That's supposed to be a 1 or 2 line answer. Jesus, I'm
No,
Ah, you're good.
by all
No,
means,
no, no.
please, please
I
continue.
was just
I
saying.
I see the thing a lot in I don't know, I guess like more or less like split parent homes and stuff like that,
Mm.
where it's like you might have multiple children, or somebody might have multiple children, or a spouse might, or whatever. And it's like, a couple of, the parents, whether it be like a baby mama or a baby daddy, they're really trying and they make time for the kid, right? And then you might have another one who doesn't make as much time, but they say they're going to try,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
might never come through. And they might never actually spend that time that they're saying, let me just try to figure something out. I'm not going to. You also have the ones that'll just never reply back to a text. They won't tell you that they're going to try, So
Mm.
I feel like the people that at least say like, hey, this is, I'm going to try, somewhere deep down inside, if they had every single thing that they needed and every tool to be in that position where they could, they would, because they told you that they have. Because if they wouldn't have said a thing. I feel like those
Mm.
are the lurkers. Those are the people who they might not know what's best. They could be, just in their head about, lurking as we are about them lurking, where it's
Yeah.
just like, oh man, could I say something in their chat that, possibly derails this whole person's stream and they lose
Mm.
viewers? Or, so, for
'Cause
them,
I've
I
seen a
damn
lot of
appreciate it.
people.
I really,
Yeah.
I thank everybody at the end of my stream for, because it's like, if they're listening, I got a lot of people in my streams who are also streamers, and
Mm.
it's like they'll leave up tabs or they'll be working at home. So it's like they're not watching my streams, but they're listening to it, or they'll
Yeah,
hang
and
Yeah.
I've
over. And
also
so,
seen yeah, I've also
mhm,
seen those people who have like turned around and said kind of like, "Oh, I lurk because I kind of have that like social anxiety that like even online they have
mhm,
that anxiety of where they don't really want to message in chat, but they just kind of want to either like watch along or just keep the tab open to support someone
yeah,
who they watch on the regular or that they're just interested in."
mhm.
So as a frequent lurker of Bucks, I'd like to say, um,
You're King
I don't
Lurk
really,
in the chat,
yo,
man.
real
King
shit.
Lurk.
So I'll like pop
Love it.
in and I'll talk for a little bit, and then I'll be
Mm.
like, "Hey, I get distracted because I gotta like I'm gonna start up a Magic game, or a few boys on Discord hit me up and they're like, yo, you want to play some Commander?" I'm like, I bet. So I'll just
Mm.
mute Buck's tab, and every once in a while, like if there's a lull, I'll unmute it and retype or talk to Buck again. But like, I don't feel like lurking is as negative as a thing as you think it might be. I think it can like in some ways be portrayed that way because like yeah, you have a viewer, but you have like 30 viewers, but no one's talking. What the fuck's going on? It's because they're all
Mm.
lurkers. But
Yeah.
in actuality, sometimes it's situations like that where they might not be talking at the moment, but who's to say that they weren't or won't later, right? Because that's what
Mhm.
I do when I'm watching Buck stream. I'm not there the entire stream, but I'll pop in, I'll say some words, And then if I get distracted or if I get busy, I'll just mute his tab, do what I got to do, come back, unmute, and get back to chatting. That way he has the consistent viewer, and I'm still able to hop in when I need to or want to. So it might not be constant chatting, but there is
Yeah.
some interaction with that viewer.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
was more.
school. You know,
Yeah.
you get those friends groups or whatever, and you know, there's some people who you guys are all close friends, you know, but Buddy just doesn't talk as much as Joe does. You know, Joe might talk all the time. Joe might be the, hey guys, let's go and do this. You know, and it's like
Yeah.
everybody's going, and Steve's with us everywhere we go, but Steve doesn't really say anything.
Yeah.
You know, is he just lurking in
But
the friend
Steve's a
group?
chill dude.
He's still part of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he's still part of that for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
That's incredible. I have
No,
one
yeah.
question that I want to ask you specifically, right?
Mhm.
It's a question which we've all had our say on the last podcast, but I feel like we're at that point now, and I think that the way that
I'm
you,
worried.
the way
Oh,
that
man,
you've,
dude. Dude, I heard about this. If it's about boxing or UFC, I don't want smoke.
Nah.
I know nothing. I know nothing. I know
No,
nothing.
Yeah,
it's,
that was a lot of the last week's
it was-
Oh
podcast.
God.
it's a. I think the way that so far how
Oh, so
you've
much.
how you've have given answers to everything is mesmerizing. You really
Thank you.
should be, you know, proud of yourself for that, for definite.
Thank you. Thank you.
The question I have mainly for you is, you know, we're all to a certain degree in this sort of fucking cry. I can't get rid of this,
Are
man.
you alright, mate? What's happened?
We're all to a certain degree in this online spherical hurling towards somewhere we don't know, right?
Mhm.
The heavy hitter question is, what do you think about cancel culture?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's right. We did talk about this last week.
Fucking hell, we
And
did.
Please, by all means, if it's a question you don't feel comfortable talking about, no problem, no judgment shared. This is an
Oh.
environment where no one will hold shit against you at all, my friend. But
I'll
what-
judge you
what-
personally, but that's
Cancel.
that's besides the point.
No,
what
absolutely.
is it? What is your opinion on it? Be interesting to know from a
Man,
position.
I got, you know, as I'm sure you guys probably aren't going to be shocked by, you know, I have multiple opinions on it. One is we've had it forever.
Mm.
It's not new. It's not new. Cancel culture is not new. Cancel culture is now just in a spotlight. You know, we've had cancel culture, you know, forever. Whether it was in the 90s, you know, silently shaming, you know, goths for wearing black baggy pants and chains. You know, we've had cancel culture forever. You know, where we've been, you know, I mean, it's been a thing, you know.
Why
we've
does
always-
everything that come out of your mouth sound great?
It's incredible, isn't it?
I don't know.
My
know
man's
what I
is
mean?
articulate, all right? I told you he'd be a good guest.
So, you know, I mean, we've had cancel culture forever. The thing is, we just didn't have a platform where you could instantly get a million people to also hate what you hate as easily. You know, because you know, 90% of these people, you know, like we were talking about earlier, they're not going to keep that same energy in person. You know, they're not really like that. You know, as we say here, you know, they're not really like that outside.
SJW.
They're not
Or
like that,
keyboard
you know,
warriors.
You know, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, Twitter fingers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know,
Twitter
they're
thing.
as they'd say in 2012, you know, they're not really about that life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, but
Ain't
it's
about
you
it.
know, it's easy to. So I mean, cancel culture, you know, we've always had it. Now, does that mean that because we have it, we should abuse it like we've been abusing it? Absolutely not. Cancel culture is being abused, and you know, it's one of those things where it's how do I man, I feel like I know we're trying to get off the video game comparison, but you know,
No,
there's
you can
No,
leap
I
it
have
back.
to- I
It's
have
all
to bring it
good.
back. We used to have video games, right, where we moved at one pace, and then once they introduced sprint into a video game, you couldn't play a video game that didn't have sprint.
Mm.
You can't go back. You know, so now that we have cancel culture, we're never going to get into a period where we never have it again.
That
You know,
momentum.
we're always going to have it. You know, it's just like, you know, with Corona. You know, if nobody would have ever said anything about Corona, we'd still have the flu. You know, but now what is it? You know, now it's, you know, oh, okay, it could be Corona, it could be, you know, this, that, and that. We're never going to not have a possibility of Corona because it's been introduced.
Mm.
You know, whether or not it is, you know, whatever people think, or you know, however it is, whether it's its own strain, it's just a variation of, you know, whatever it is. You know, if it's really just some bad soup that, you know, I'm glad Seinfeld never got. You know, it's introduced and we have it. You know, it's a thing now. So I feel like cancel culture is going to be one thing that, you know, it's going to be Like I said, we've always had it. It's going to be a fad, just like everything else. We're going to eventually get to the point where, canceling things is going to get canceled. And it's gonna turn around. It's gonna be that snake game that you play until you can't win anymore, and you eventually hit your own tail and you lose. That's where it's gonna be. It's absolutely abused. It's overused. It's it's the gun. It's not the guns don't kill people. People with guns, who want to kill people are going to use those guns and kill people, type thing. Because there's certain things that on a mass scale need to be canceled, and as a result of cancel culture have been canceled, and things that need to be put to an end, at least for the safety of the people who wouldn't by themselves dabble into certain things they're
Mm.
not going to find out about. And those type of things, for the safety of the people who wouldn't normally dabble in those things, protection is needed. Those things need to be canceled. You can't just be out and about and just going, completely willy-nilly, because what you do affects somebody else. And if a 12-year-old kid is exposed to something that you probably shouldn't normally get exposed to until you're 18 to 21 or whatever, that simple action, whether it's 5 minutes long or 12 seconds long, might have just completely uncourse corrected where this kid was going, and could have potentially ruined his whole entire life because of something that could have just been canceled and said, no, we're not gonna make this a thing that everybody's aware of. So in those type of things, it's I'm glad we have cancel culture. It's the same way where it's like, I don't feel like, it's like rules in school, right? You might have rules that it's like, man, rules are dumb. I don't want to follow this rule. Why can't I bring my own snacks to class? But then it's like, man, if there wasn't any rules, there'd be nothing from keeping Ross 2 desks away from just throwing pencils at my head all day. So it's like, you can't really pick and choose. All we can really do is just try to do the best with what we have, and that's
Yeah.
really it.
Like
That's how
it's
I
like
feel
order
about
and chaos are
cancel.
two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, and it's not something new. Like I said, we've had it the whole time.
Mm.
I mean,
Just it's more publicized now.
right. I mean, if you think about it now, we're all just basically, anybody who feels like cancel culture is, ruining their life, welcome to 2005 Nickelback fans. You know, you know what I mean? Like we've been canceling things that
God.
our whole entire lives, and it's never been
Yeah.
a problem. It's never been a problem, on this big of a
Until
scale,
now. Yeah.
because it's never been on this big of a scale. So cancel culture isn't the problem, it's the scale that cancel culture is on that's the bigger problem. Not saying
And
that,
the platforms.
things that, yeah, that things are getting, carried away. We're losing that console to PC diversity that we were talking about earlier, where, now, people aren't just using their consoles for games. They're using that as their prime source of television. We're not buying cable. We can get Hulu downloaded. We can get,
Mm.
Netflix downloaded. We can get Disney Plus and Paramount downloaded on a console. We don't need to call Charter or whoever we have, anymore like that. But, we still have that computer where it's like, you're not going to do all your emails on a gaming console with a controller, and hit a stick 7 times to get to a letter because, we hated T9. We hated T9 word. We started putting,
Exactly.
keyboards on our on our cell phones and stuff like that. So, it's not going to reverse,
Yeah.
but it's just it's losing its own little individual identity, and it's oversaturating almost everything you can put your hand in. If you can put your hand in it and somebody likes it, there's going to be 25 people who hate it regardless. People are just always going to hate, but it's the scale and the mass of the amount of it that's you know
The actual
often
problem.
not warranted. But it's one of those things that when it is warranted and when people need it, it's like the police. you know Nobody, there's going to be a vast majority of people that are going to
We had
say,
this
fuck the
discussion the other
police.
night.
They're going to say fuck the police. The police do all of this or whatever. But yeah, but when your ass is in trouble and you really need somebody to show up, who are you calling?
Mhm.
Your ass is calling the police.
Mm.
Now, not to say, like I say there's a difference between cops and police. You get the people who are literally there because, as like cancel culture goes, they're trying to cancel the things that they believe are going to, keep their community and everything safe. Those are your police officers. You have the people who are cops that just kind of abuse their power and realize I have a badge, I can do whatever I want, and if I don't like you, you're going to jail. Those are the people who cancel everything because they realize how easy it is to.
Mm.
It's the same thing, so
It's incredible.
that's my opinion.
Do
That's
you,
my opinion.
no, by all means, it's incredible. Do you think then just to sort of hit the ping pong ball back at you across the table,
Mhm.
do you think it's more of a case of its circumstantial benefits rather than benefits as a whole? As in, I guess so. For example, you mentioned that the stuff that needs to be and how we've benefit from stuff being cancelled.
Mhm.
Do you think it's more of a case of circumstantial? Do you think it would take for someone, obviously, for someone to stand up and be like, look, I don't like this for
I
whatever
think
reason?
I think so. I think everything has to be circumstantial. Like I said, without getting too political. If it wasn't for the first person who stood up and did the whole Me Too thing or whatever, we're probably still having movies produced by people who are still taking abuse and
Mhm.
taking advantage of the people that they want in their films. But that was circumstantial. That took one person in their circumstance to stand up and say no. I don't want this to happen. But it happened to other people before who never said anything, right? Because in their circumstance they weren't going to say anything, but in this person's circumstance they stood up, and now as a result, there's way more backlash. There's consequences now for the people who are doing these type of things. People are starting to be like, no, you're involved in this type of shit, I want nothing to do with it. Companies are involved, and people are they're associated with this thing. Well, people are going to stop buying your stocks in this shit. People are going to sell out. Your company's going to plunder, which is part of the cancel culture. But it's like it's like how they had it in the like the 1800s, or like the old times. It's like, you were a thief, what did you do? You walked around town with a sign around your neck that said thief. you know everybody knows what you are. So it's like, if you're not doing anything that's bad, you shouldn't get canceled. But if you're doing shit that's bad, everybody should be aware of that. And if you fuck with somebody who's as bad as it is being canceled, you shouldn't just be able to lurk under the shadows and be a secret person in the cut that's fucking with somebody that terrible. You should also, wear the sign. People say, you kind of you are who you hang around with, and that's not necessarily, always the case, because, circumstances and stuff. But, if you're benefiting off these things, it's, just like how everyone's getting in charge, in rap music with these RICO cases. You might not be Young Thug, you might be Gunna,
Or
but you're still making
EYSL.
money, exactly, but it's stuff like that, where it's like, he might not have done everything, but he's right there with him. He's right there with him in everything that he does, So it's like, of course you're going to get roped in, but,
Mm.
if you're willing to get roped in, then, for those people who are getting canceled, it shouldn't bother them if they have to wear a sign around their neck that says thieves, if they're willing to do it that openly.
Mate, you are fucking mesmerizing. Honestly, mate,
Thank you.
you've,
We do have to wrap this up.
yeah, I was
Unfortunately.
just about to say, mate. Honestly, it's been a fucking privilege having you on.
Yep.
And
Oh, man,
It's been an
thank you guys for having
experience,
me.
honestly.
Thank you.
Oh, dude,
no
no
Thank you.
problem.
fucking problem.
You've
No
set the
problem.
bar for future
Yeah.
guests.
I had
What do
to. I
you
was number
mean? What
one,
do you
right?
mean?
I'm number one.
Yeah.
He set
I'm
the
just glad
bar.
I,
He's
I'm
going
just glad
to
I
be
was around for
future
this.
guest.
They're gonna have to see the most athletic single dad in Minnesota. Single, by the way, in case there's any little shorties out there who want somebody 6'7".
Hey yo,
Let me plug it real
Damn.
quick.
Just before
come through.
Did you say 6'7"?
before we wrap,
6'7". Yes.
Fucking
yes,
hell.
before we wrap it
Fucking
up,
NBA player.
obviously, bruv, anything that you want eyes on,
Shout anything out.
anything, mate,
damn.
anything. If there's anyone on this planet of Earth who I
Yeah.
am more than happy to divert people to, it's you, my friend.
Well, in that case, if anybody's watching
Anything.
this and they want to lend a little bit of support, there is a 7-year-old version of myself who likes to stream some Fortnite every now and then on YouTube, and his channel is Eli's Reviews and Games. So if anybody would ever like to share some support to a little 7-year-old cracked kid who does way better at video games than his dad does, that is where I would send all the support I could. My little guy Eli.
You are a fucking
For
role
sure.
model. You're incredible, mate.
That's where I'd go. If I'd have to do it, that's him right there all day.
Go send him some love.
That's my little guy.
Incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it from us. 2 hours and 30 in the books. Again, it's
Thank you
been,
guys so much for having me. Thank
mate,
you. Really,
no
I
any
appreciate it.
any time. More than
Absolutely.
definitely. It's
Yeah.
been an absolute fucking pleasure having you on, mate, honestly.
Definitely get you
Thank
back.
you.
100%.
2 hours
Thank
and
you.
30 in the books. It's been a one wide. It didn't feel like it's 2 hours 30 at all. But a
No, yeah.
pleasure. We'll,
It's been a fucking experience, man.
yeah, man, definitely.
So good.
We shall get more stuff in the pipeline, no doubt. And yeah, there's a few things my eyes have been opened on today, but it's been a fucking, in the good way. It's been
Have
incredible.
him on every week.
It's
My
been
brain's expanded
incredible.
today.
Man,
Incredible.
My brain has expanded today.
If you like
man.
the usual sort of
Appreciate it.
spiel, if you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, Leave a comment. Hurling abuse at me or something. I don't care. Do whatever you need to do to get that out of you. Group chat episode 6. We're back again with episode 7, hopefully. That's it from us, and we'll catch you later.
Later.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.
Jesus.